Yes. All right, everyone. It's 3:09. We'll go ahead and stand up. And we'll call this meeting to order. Can we all start with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So go ahead and have roll call. We have in attendance Bob, Doug, myself, Ed, and Carol. And I need a motion for approval of the final agenda.
I would like to move agenda item 9B as in boy down to under the administrative agenda items 11E as in elephant, because they're both sidewalks and it's the engineering for the sidewalks, and I think we can talk about them both at the same time. So I'd like to make
I'll second that.
agenda item 9B 11E as an elephant.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we'll go, wait for Chelsea.
I don't know what happened to her.
All right, everyone, so we'll. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we have some special guests in house today. So we'll go ahead and go with local achievements and recognitions. So at this time, the Board of Supervisors would like to recognize 3 students at the Gateway Charter High School. And the first one will be Lucas Manjares Salina. So on behalf of the Gateway Services Community Development District Board of Supervisors, we will proudly recognize Lucas for being a consistent role model and demonstrating outstanding character, especially on the school bus. Lucas is known for his kindness, respect, and willingness to help others. He regularly assists young students and contributes and maintain a safe and positive environment on the school bus. His thoughtful actions reflect on strong leadership, compassion, and a commitment to looking out for others, making him a wonderful example of a great student within the community. Okay. Is he here? Is Lucas here?
That was from Gateway Elementary.
Okay. Maybe this one.
I do the photos first.
You want to do them all at the end?
He's not here. Yeah, because he's not here.
He's not here?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I did say charter, so.
The next student I'd like to recognize is Denzel Duarte, senior at Gateway Charter High School. Denzel is a senior representative in Gateway Charter Student Government Association, and he has gone above and beyond to create a school culture of pride and unity. Denzel established at our Gateway News Network, GNN 10, which airs weekly episodes focused on important student events, highlighting a student and teacher of the week, and having a little fun with his Eat My Questions lunch trivia segment. Denzel has also led 3 important community fundraising events, which include a food drive at the Harry Chapin Food Bank, a toy drive for Toys for Tots, and he is currently accepting pet food supplies and food for the Gulf Coast Humane Society. Denzel has been passionately supporting our Strong Minds and Good Hearts campaign by leading our SGA members in monthly reading teaching sessions at our lower campus and including them in his GNN 10 news and social media videos. Denzel has been instrumental in helping to cultivate a strong culture of acceptance and pride amongst our Griffins from grades K through 12. He is an amazing mentor and truly demonstrates our core values of purpose, passion, integrity, and grit. So if we could just
I think there's more.
put our print for Denzel.
You guys want to go do the pictures now?
Yeah.
And then we'll do Maddie.
Is Madeline here as well?
And that's the Leslie daughter.
Oh, is she here?
Right next to Leslie.
So we'll do this and then we'll.
Stand up in the middle and then we'll do our last ones.
There you go.
Come over on this side.
Would you like to raise money for the soccer?
We're gonna toss you off this meeting.
We'll get this.
We're together.
Yes. You want to come on, family? No. Hold on, Doug. Family, let the family come too. We'll have.
Okay, no, we'll come back. There's one brother that's missing. So we're not gonna. Let's redo the picture. Get in there. Yeah,
One more picture, family.
I have one kid missing.
Doug, one more picture. One more picture. Oh, fam, are you guys doing? Oh, yeah.
Squeeze over here with Carol.
Got a delivery? We got that. Where's that delivery at?
Hey, while we're here, let's do Madeline while we're here.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
And then,
we'll read it?
yeah.
Okay, let me go get.
No, let's take the pictures and then I'll read
Yeah, I
it.
need to get the certificate.
Come on up.
One without, and one with. Now you gotta jump to the other side. Get your steps in. Say water meters. Say meters. All right, Mom, go ahead, Mom.
Oh, no, Leslie, come on.
Leslie, there you go.
Right here.
Twins.
You know what you're on.
Leslie's that's right.
Oh, one more. Sorry.
I'm sorry. That water meter thing, right?
Learn about Maddie. Doug's got Maddie's. If you want to read Maddie's.
Okay. Hi, Maddie.
So
that?
the next,
Let me just preface with this. I personally recommended Maddie. So she's been a big help, and I'll let you read.
we'll find out why.
She even gets music.
So the next student that we're recognizing is Madeline Rektorovic. She is a senior at Gateway High School. Madeline has outstanding dedication and service to the district. In the past 5 months alone, she has volunteered more than 80 hours supporting numerous tasks and special events, including the Jingle Jog, along with many other community engagement initiatives. Beyond her extensive community involvement, Madeline excels academically and exemplifies what it means to be a well-rounded, dedicated senior. As she prepares to take her next step in her life, we are confident she will continue to lead with the same commitment, integrity, and heart for service that she has shown in Gateway. So we appreciate it.
Thank you.
It sounds like we probably should have had you on the books.
That's a lot of hours.
Well, if your work ethic and dedication and commitment is anywhere close to your mother's, you will find success in your life.
Amen.
Absolutely.
So thank you again. We
Thank you all
appreciate
for
it.
coming.
Thank you.
Thanks for partnering. Yeah, that's fine.
Are we starting to get more of these nominations coming through?
Yeah, so we're actually partnered with Amber, and we have like an Excel sheet out there, and so the teachers and principals and administration from each school, they are the ones who are recommending, or if they're hearing
Great.
from somebody, so it's coming from them to this Excel sheet, and we try to order. This one we had 3, but that's because the one from last.
One that was
There was
one that
supposed to
was
be two.
last week.
And
So they're
is
gonna be
this
2
just
every
a
time.
recognition, or is there anything else that goes along with it?
No, this is just recognition.
Okay.
Get a little
They
certificate.
can add this to their Bright Futures applications and recognition like this. And then obviously for the schools, it's them promoting the partnership that we have here.
One thing that we may want to consider, I think would be really cool, is Are we allowed to do a scholarship from the district
Public funds.
This becomes difficult, but I guess what
or a grant or some type of,
We can get some volunteer hours.
you can do.
no, what I was thinking is,
You can have private vendors doing it, like sponsor scholarship.
what I was thinking is if, you know, we could do like an annual, scholarship.
$1,000.
Yeah, $1,000, whatever. But in order to be eligible, you would have had to have been nominated or awarded.
Yeah,
this
I'm not sure if
recognition over
that's
the
within
years.
the purview of the district's powers or authorities.
All right, just throw it out
But-
there.
But,
He's got a lot of kids going to college.
but,
Check it out.
but no, but the district could be sort of, solicit sponsors for that.
Yeah,
And so the
on
district
top
could.
of everything else.
Elementary.
say,
So we
hey,
could host it and have someone sponsor it?
Yes.
Tony's law firm could give us.
Yeah, or Tetra Tech, our law firm, other vendors, because, seriously, we help, we contribute to a lot of causes.
Okay. All right, well, we'll,
Gateway's cause too.
Seriously, we do. I mean, we have a
I still
number of
another
causes.
one.
we
I'm
have
not Indian
budget
giver. I
for,
give it
we
and
donate
take
to.
Good.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing this.
I think it's awesome.
I
Yeah,
do too.
me too.
Should have been doing it a long time ago.
Oh, wow. He has.
About
10
doubles
I
our
mean,
attendance.
Yeah,
Right, Bob, it quadruples it.
I like Bob's idea. We know who's gonna go fundraiser.
Yeah, get
I like
Denzel on
that.
that.
All right, guys, so, public comments.
I have some. Okay, so Marty Mantonfeld has a lot of stuff, so he's gonna have to take a deep breath, so you might wanna just like hold off till the end. He has 6 things listed on his
Okay, he's
sheet.
good. He'll do
So-
3
He can do
minutes.
6
I'm
things in 3
confident.
minutes? It's not the
You
Marty
just-
I know.
Please don't
of.
interrupt me, so I won't start your timer until after you tell us who you are.
Okay, Marty Mantonfeld, I'm full-time resident at Gateway at Pelican Preserve. So, item 9 alpha, I've read over your purchase of new sewer equipment. You gave no cost-benefit analysis on how much you spend on contractor emergency services over a 5-year period. So if you bring this equipment in-house, how much are you going to save? Okay, alls I can picture now is purchasing new equipment and we're getting another swirly, which doesn't run. Okay, it sounds like we don't need the equipment. 9 Charlie, proposed revision to the easement use agreement. So what's the consequences if this is not approved? We're gonna have to take up the fence or something? I don't know. It's now 11 Echo and 11 Delta. The sidewalks at Griffin Drive and Tree Line, okay? The Tetra Tech proposals, there's a difference of $22,000 there. What the heck? It's a lot of money. Item 11 Alpha, Timberwood irrigation. Why are we going to spend $15,000 on the cost of new meters? It sounds like empire building. What's the benefit to Gateway if we take this project on and turn it over, the irrigation, to our equipment? 11 Bravo, Master Trust Project. We're going to see how much money is left that we can borrow. Well, if we can borrow money there, why do we have item 9 Delta to borrow more money? $8 million. So I think those are questions that the board needs to answer. That's all I got. How'd I do?
You did good. You still got a minute and
Thank you, Marty.
14 seconds
Even bring up a
left.
bridge.
All right, and then we have Stacy, is it Fairbaugh? Okay, she has a non-agenda item, a problem with an oak tree. So if you just state your name for the record,
I'm
please.
Stacy Faribaugh. I live in Eagle Point Circle. Never done this before. So I've been a permanent resident for 6 years. We have an oak tree that's behind our house, and it's along Gateway Boulevard, and it's been nothing but damaging to our property. We've probably put $30,000 in our pool when we first moved in 5 years ago, because it's lifted up. The roots have grown under my pool, and it's grown under my concrete. We had to replace that. Last year I had to replace my hot tub because it grew in the pipes. It's blocking my solar, and every time the wind or we get a bad storm, stuff's coming off that, and it's crashing into my screens on my cage, and then it has dented my lanai roof. And then underneath our lanai, there's huge roots growing. It's been nothing but a problem, and I begged, please, can somebody take this down? They've taken so many trees down along there. I don't understand why one more is gonna hurt. I mean, it's so damaging, and we are tapped out. I mean, my husband's on disability, we're struggling as it is. It's just been a
What's your address?
12221 Eagle Point Circle.
I have a question. Are you like right by the entrance, like the first or second house? I do
Yeah.
recall this about a few years back. We did trim your tree
Yeah,
because
they
there was
trim 'em, they
complaints
grow right back.
about the tree limbs
Heading with the cage.
heading the cage. And then I remember L, I think you work with L, and I think this is also prior to you. We have worked with Chris Shoemaker, removing some of the limbs at that time. So
They've
this,
grown back. They
well,
don't move big limbs, they move like the small
it's-
stuff.
That's the beauty of the beast, the
Yeah,
oak trees.
yeah.
So,
I've had 3 people out there, pictures, agree, but
I have a question, and I'm going by memory regarding if it was our tree or your HOA tree.
it's your tree.
Okay, because I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
it's right
I
along
remember. I
Gateway.
remember.
We own that, where that sign is for Eagle Point. That's our property, but the tree is actually on Gateway's property.
Is it the big one to
Yes.
the right? of
Yes.
your- yeah, that one.
And my neighbor, a couple houses down, has had hers uprooted. And I'm scared to death of a storm that's going to happen, because last, with a hurricane with Ian, our neighbor's big palm tree came down and fell onto our one tree and knocked it down, almost hit our house.
Have you provided to staff? I know you're done with your. You're done with what you have to say, right? So you can ask their questions. Okay. So have you provided staff like any pictures or any
Not 3
invoices with the damages that are caused to your pool and stuff? Okay.
So what we have offered to date, and this is why Stacy is here, we have said she can take it down at her cost, but if she takes it down, there will need to be one replaced elsewhere throughout the community. It doesn't necessarily have to go back exactly there.
Hardwood for hardwood.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what I figured.
exactly. And we told her if she, again, like anything, administrative decisions, she has the right to come here to the board and come to you all and ask for relief on that. I would strongly encourage the district not undertake the removal, considering the extensive of the roots, and if there are any further damages on private property. That's why we recommended it's her and her contractor, whomever. But again, this is a district tree. We would want to have one placed elsewhere.
Have we had any road damage in front of this oak?
No.
Had to replace the sprinklers, dig the sprinklers up several times, because they had problems with the sprinklers.
This is the tree.
I'm just begging to please.
That's one tree?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, really?
And it hangs over our house, our roof.
It's one oak tree, and there are 6 palms, sable.
Okay.
So it's not.
Okay.
No. The answer is no.
And the palms along there have never been trimmed. since we
Yeah.
moved there.
Well, so that's the thing. Like I went back and some of the palms, and we kind of decided we're going forward that we'll do it because we didn't want to split hairs. Some of the palms, I can tell you, it is your HOA, and some of are ours.
Right,
So
right.
that's
Right,
like
and
let's
I've-
not just
I
throw
have-
it all.
no,
Let's
I've
not just throw it all
contacted
into
them.
this plate.
Yeah, because I thought they were on yours and
Yeah.
actually
No.
are on
So
HOAs.
I am inclined with not requiring her to replant this somewhere else, but absolutely I will be opposed to us taking liability where we have none. Does that make sense?
That doesn't preclude us from trimming it.
Trimming is one thing because we have done trimming. I think the removal is a lot more.
Hardwoods are scheduled to be trimmed next year. We do them every 2 years.
Tony, go ahead, Tony.
Yeah, from a legal perspective, I think we've had this conversation before about roots. I'm on that from many years ago. It's in the district, it's in the Lee County right of way, but the district owns and operates and maintains all the trees. To the extent the roots encroach upon somebody else's property, they can engage in self-help on their property to trim branches and limbs and roots to the property line. And if they kill the tree, then arguably they can be required to replace it. But as a matter of Florida law, they can remove all the roots, remove all the limbs on their
Lateral.
property that encumber their property. Yes, they can do
The
that.
tree's healthy.
Okay, but they can still do that. The
But I
the
mean,
risk is if it
because
does,
if the
if
tree
they
is
do
not
kill a
healthy, we
tree,
have a
arguably the
responsibility.
Yeah, I don't want, I mean, personally, I don't want to create liability where there's none. And we have, at least I can recall, going back at least 3 times that we have trimmed that tree for you. So we have done something that really don't do anything else. So I think that tells you how much we are willing. But at this point,
We financially cannot.
Where's the
afford to take
HOA
that
involved on
ourselves.
this? Because I only see property line and county. I don't see any HOA.
there's none.
There isn't any. Okay.
One other thing to consider, and I've had this from firsthand experience, if you trim the roots and do like.
That barrier, that metal barrier, yeah, it does help.
In a windstorm like Irma, the tree that my backyard that went over, went over this way because I had cut and put a root barrier in because it was going under my pool.
branches come.
So
So-
it could fall into the road and then
So
it could uplift.
from what I'm hearing,
Which then it creates a bigger liability for us.
It could,
Because
potential.
we are responsible for the landscaping and maintenance of that, even though it's Lee
Yes.
County.
Yeah.
Because it is a county property.
What was the ask again? What would you like us to do?
If you could please take it down. I mean,
Take it
you've
down, okay.
taken so many down along that road, I don't see what one more would do, especially when it's causing property damage to my house. Like I said, we're tapped out. We've put so much into the pool and everything, and around the pool, the hot tub, the landscaping, that it's just tearing everything up.
Is there a wall there?
No.
There's a gate.
Vince?
Yeah, they just.
No,
got-
no wall?
No.
Okay.
I guess Chelsea, if it's cut, if it's cut down, I would suggest not taking, the root system would need to stay intact. You can always, grind the stump grind, and then replace it with another tree or not.
honestly, Tony, I
I'll-
wouldn't want to touch it at all, just in fear of vibrations of grinding down if there were,
It's a mass, it's a big tree. I mean, I think I actually visited this because there was an irrigation issue with this.
Several.
No, that wasn't the issue. The issue was that the community was tapped into our irrigation, and that's when Chris was here. So
Shoemaker,
I
yeah.
was there looking at that, and I think at that point, either I met with you or your husband and Elle, and that issue was brought up. We're talking about 8 years ago. Yeah.
So Chelsea, we're not interested in taking it down, is that what I think I heard?
correct.
The liability that would be creating.
And precedent.
Okay.
Well,
But we have
thank
no
you. If the
problem if
board
you
would-
wanted to take it down, is that what I
Yeah.
also heard?
No, I didn't.
No, we didn't say that.
No, they
What do we
have,
say?
they have the legal right to trim it, the roots and the limbs that are onto their property.
Financially, we just can't.
But with the caveat that if that trimming results in the death of the tree, they're responsible for damages caused by the death of the tree.
Removal, then replacing of it, yeah.
So we don't want to do anything? That's what I'm hearing.
Unless somebody's willing to make a motion,
Scheduled for hardwood trimming next year.
the regular trimming,
The
yeah.
regular standard trimming.
I'll make a motion, we remove it.
Tony, there
Yes.
isn't something that she could sign that they couldn't come back against us?
Like a hold harmless and indemnification, they could do that.
Yes, some
Yeah.
legal mumbo jumbo. You don't have something in your
No,
bag
but
of tricks there?
whether that benefits us for the next property owner or not is another question, that's always the issue. And again, to the extent that there are roots going towards your pool, I'm really familiar with that because it happened at my house with my own oak tree, trust me. But again, that's why there is a self-help remedy for the roots on your property, that you can cut those roots at the property line. But
Well,
again,
without prejudice to futures, my motion stands that we remove it.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor. Does anybody second for discussion?
I'll second.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a second for discussion.
Part of
Question?
discussion for me, and I am extremely sympathetic to this issue because it's happened to me at two different properties. The one thing that we have to consider is the sheer volume of oak trees that go along the roads that are adjacent to property.
Gateway Greens has a ton that are like,
So, again,
That's why I said without prejudice,
I
a onesie.
Taking some money out along there.
I hate it, but
Susie, if you could
if
sit down,
we
please.
open
Let
that
them
door
talk.
now, then it's going to be really hard for us to turn someone else down the road if there is similar issues. And I am extremely sympathetic, extremely sympathetic.
So,
and I'm in a position that if we're having a difficult time, even if she signs a harmless, whatever we need her to sign, if something happens, then she's going to have a bigger issue that she's going to have to deal with because she's going to have a crack on her pool and everything else. And if it's right now trimming a tree is a problem, which is while it's on her plate, that is something that I also want to think about it.
But the trim won't, a trim, unless you go down and get the roots, is not going to stop the encroachment.
The
of
root,
pool.
the root is your,
For a trim, she's asking for removal.
I know,
but the roots are the issue, correct?
yes.
And the limbs have torn out our springs and our cage.
Yeah, but if they take the tree down, the roots will not be an issue,
So
they won't
to-
be growing.
To Tony's,
See how, this must be an old picture.
They're not, like, there was at one point years back that the limbs were over the cage.
Over after
As
the-
of right now, I don't recall it, and I just drove by yesterday.
so again, that same line that Tony was referring to that goes down also goes up, and they have the right to do so. And if they're choosing not to do so because of whatever reason it may be, that is private property.
You don't
Now,
have liability by virtue of that encroachment.
so if,
These grow naturally.
as an alternative, and I don't know, I'd have to talk to an arborist, Tony's concept, we could do on our side of the fence. But I don't know how deep those roots are until you start
It's
digging.
gonna make it worse, I'm thinking, if you're gonna cut the roots on this side, there'll be nothing holding to the ground. The wind hits, it goes on top of her house.
That's
So
my
it goes the
personal
other-
example.
That's what happens.
That's exactly
I
what
wouldn't do
happens.
that.
Exactly
I
what
would-
That'll get rid of the tree then.
On top of her house, yeah, she'll be very happy about it. Yeah.
It goes to the
on the
side
road.
where
It
the,
won't. It'll go the other way.
Arguably, it
Like it
can
or
go
not,
either
the
way.
solution is get
Depends on
rid
where
of the
the winds
tree.
came from. Mine have been at Irma.
So
When does the tree trimming gets done?
next year. We don't go on private property regardless.
Yeah.
So we
I
only
don't think the
maintain.
trimming is the primary thing. I mean, that is even a minimal expense, having someone just cut a couple branches down. Where the cost is removal or even just doing a root prune. I mean, I think that's really what we're trying to decide here.
If you,
Bob, your motion is to remove the tree
tree.
at CDD expense.
Yeah, at no, without prejudice. No, we're not setting
And
precedent,
her signing anything?
whatever Tony says he has to.
Well,
But that's what Tony's saying, that it's not enough.
it may not be. I mean, and again,
Add a couple more pages.
Add a couple more
Even
pages.
with prejudice, that still doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not trying to set a precedent.
Yeah.
It's a one-shot deal.
well, I guess the question is, you can expend funds for primarily public purpose with a primarily, with
You
a
cannot.
secondary
Our
private.
statute does not
You
allow
cannot spend
us
money
to-
for
It's our
primarily
tree.
private benefit,
It's our tree.
but the
We
benefit.
we are
accrues-
causing her harm.
But there is no benefit to us. So it's
don't cause
no
harm
different than
anymore.
HOA. I can't spend in private property.
And
Our
and again,
statute
the
doesn't allow
harm,
us.
if the harm is from the roots and the harm is from the limbs, she can cut those off at the property line.
Or take the tree down. Okay. Got the motion out there.
We have a motion, and a second. No, any other discussion? Carol, any questions?
Nope.
No? I'll go ahead and call for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Aye.
All right, we will
too.
schedule the tree to have removed and I'll need documentation from Tony for the property owner to sign.
Great.
Yeah, and Chelsea, I would suggest you're right, you're gonna have to leave the roots in place.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise.
I'm
Okay.
gonna call an arborist and they're gonna tell us exactly what to do.
Right.
All right, thank you, Stacy. We'll be in touch.
Yeah, and it's subject to a hold harmless
We've had this-
indemnification agreement.
Wait,
you got to cut it.
Yeah.
What, that fence that's there, so it's a wrought iron fence,
Yes,
right?
yes.
With columns.
Yes, it's
So
like hooked to the.
We will, if the point of, so we're gonna cut it down,
I
and
think the
what
HOA
are we gonna do to the
I think
stump?
the HOA should also be signing a harmless because she doesn't have the authority to sign on the behalf of the two pillars and the fence.
why do you say HOA's involved?
Because the
there's-
HOA owns the pillars. Actually,
Property line,
no,
that's the county.
right here.
Drop your little
Right
guy.
on, right underneath the tree.
Hold on.
There's
Get a
two
little guy.
pillars and then there's a fence.
open
So
the
she
copy.
doesn't have the authority to sign on behalf of the HOA.
Those are not showing on here.
They're not showing, yeah.
But they are
There's
on
a-
an easement.
Uh-huh.
It's that wrought iron fence with columns.
That's
So,
like farmers.
so is this just as a landscape maintenance easement or for a fence, buffer fence? Is that
No.
what it is?
Yeah.
What's the, yeah, you have the address?
It's
That's
1221
how the
Eagle
HOA is
Point
involved.
Drive, 1221 Eagle Point
Oh, it's right
Drive.
here.
What's that
You
come
can
off the
you can
back of your
actually see it.
property?
So,
See right here? See the pillar?
so
There's one
we're
here,
saying
then
we're
there's one
gonna
here.
cut it down, and what are we gonna do to the stump?
Nothing.
I am going to have an arborist tell us professionally
do.
what we should do.
Put a picnic table on it, and put a couple chairs out there.
Again, let's just think about that for a second.
Yeah.
So we're gonna ride past the road, and we're just gonna cut it to the ground, and we're just gonna leave that there?
We've got a handful of them elsewhere throughout the community.
Is this the picture of the tree
Yes, this is,
looking south?
yes.
So it's all on the road, really. It's not, see how it's not, because that's
Go-
what I
go a little further
remember
and see if
not
it'll
looking.
update with a newer image.
Yeah, you can see the prior
There
trimming.
you go.
It looks further away from the property than the aerial. indicates.
Exactly. It's not that close.
Probably 10 to 12 feet, it looks like.
Tree that size, the roots could go a
Oh,
long
it-
way.
oh, yeah,
What
I
I'm
know.
curious about is if the roots have been that aggressive going that way, how have we not had intrusion on the road?
And you don't, as you can see, there's no.
No source
repair.
of water on the road. Where's the pool?
Well,
Tree goes for a source of
Least
water.
resistance.
All right, so we will move forward with
Yeah,
the,
and I think, in addition to having the HOA sign,
You expect any problem with them, the HOA?
And I guess Chelsea, from the standpoint of,
she
do
doesn't
we,
speak on the behalf, that's a
Pardon?
question that we shouldn't be asking her.
Does there
She
need-
does not expect anything from the HOA. She doesn't even know.
I don't know, maybe she does know.
Does a replacement tree have to be planted elsewhere?
I recommended that, but the board did not
I-
provide that.
Is it required by
If it's
DO?
required, go ahead and do it. I voted no, so I was willing to not have the tree removed and trim it. So don't go by what I said, because that was not in the
We'll put
motion.
another tree somewhere. We got a big community.
And then the tree should meet the DO requirements, which is, I think, 10 inches around and 10 feet, 15 feet tall.
So does the board want me to plant a tree elsewhere?
Yeah. Your discretion.
Well, I guess that's the question. Will Lee County require one or not? To be
Plant one if required.
Got it. Is that clear, everybody? Plant as required per the DO?
Do we know about how much this is going to cost?
Absolutely not. A lot.
Well, I can
won't be
tell you
cheap.
this, do you remember the cost for the one at Daniels? 5,000, 5,600. Remember the big tree that was very similar to this? At Daniels
What did it
Preserve
cost?
Pond, that we said no?
What did it cost?
5,600, 5,600.
5,600?
That tree there will cost $3,000 or $4,000.
And I'm not in the business, so.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to have the road closure for this. This is not an easy thing. You're gonna have to have, which there's a
Well, that's
cost
key.
for that too. Yeah, well, motion's already made, so.
Go out with my chainsaw tonight.
Yeah, exactly. All right, anybody else? Chelsea?
No,
Laura?
I don't believe we have any additional public
No,
comments.
that was it.
Okay,
All right, thank you.
So it's gonna be removed?
We'll be in touch.
Okay, all right, thank you.
All right.
Stacy, is your contact information on this? If you could just put your phone number on there somewhere.
Okay, so,
Park and Rick?
park and appointment of the member. And do you want to make a
Move
motion?
to
you have email.
approve agenda item 7A.
I'll second your motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 Move to approve agenda items 8A.
Second.
8A.
We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Consent agenda items.
Was that Carol and
So we
Bob on the
just have-
minutes, or you guys are
It's
flying through
9C
it?
and D.
Yeah, so
Okay.
not,
ACD, right?
Thank you. All right.
Make a motion to approve consent agenda items A, C, and D.
I'd like to see what A is. I'll go along with C
I
and
think
D.
if you, from the standpoint, if you're going to approve D, you also need to approve the loan agreement to be included as part of the packet for
D.
D
Yes.
in the resolution, because it references a form of the loan agreements Exhibit C to the resolution. So if you can,
It's what Laura emailed you and printed in front of you.
We just go 9, C and D, we're okay?
but when you do D with
D
the,
as amended.
D is amended with the inclusion of an exhibit, the
Yep.
loan agreement.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
D is amended.
Yes.
All in favor?
oh, we didn't have a motion.
Oh, I thought we did.
No, I was waiting on a motion.
I thought I made a motion of 9, C and D
Okay,
as amended.
so we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Now let's talk about it.
Yes.
Bring it up on the 9A. Okay.
Could you give us some background on this, Stacy, or Chelsea?
Yes. So generally, this was a budgeted expenditure in this year. This comes under budget. When staff go out and have to excavate, I believe this is the excavation, is this jetting service?
Jetting trailer.
Jetting trailer.
Yeah.
Sewer backups, yeah.
Yes, so anytime we have a sewer backup, any type of backup, staff go out, we inspect it. We try to go in through the clean out. We try to jet down, get what we can. I think we do have a piece of equipment right now, but most of the time, if it's a larger issue, we have to call a contracted company out. Most of the time, it's on emergency services, on emergency pricing. This is vetted by staff. Staff have experience with this type of piece of equipment that they've used, I think, either a prior job. But ultimately, this will help us better serve the district in sewer backups, which are often timely and could be bigger issues in the event that we have.
But this is just for the trailer.
It is,
That you're going to
the
put
whole
the sewer
thing.
jetting thing on,
it's the whole thing.
It
It's
comes on a trailer.
one unit.
one piece.
Yes.
So this is the machine and the trailer and,
Yes. Yes.
okay.
I'll make a motion, we approve it.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Oh, district engineer, we don't have anything?
Nope, you have item B was pulled as well, so
But I
under,
thought B, we're gonna go talk about it under
11E.
11E.
Yes.
Yeah,
B
they
is
said-
becoming
You moved it to
11E.
Yeah, yeah.
11E.
You weren't in here.
So, so do you want to take one by one, 11A?
Sure.
Unless you guys want to do 11,
11A.
okay, 11A.
let me explain 11A. So the Timberwood Preserve HOA owns, it's the Little Finger Street that's right over here. I mentioned this at a prior meeting. If you may recall, we have Daniels Parkway Apartments that we went round and round over here off of Daniels. It's the horseshoe parcel. We went round and round with them regarding irrigation services at the wells, yes. By acquiring this main on this single street, we will be able to require Daniels Parkway Apartments to tie into our irrigation system. And ultimately, right now, that is a master metered community of like 40 some home, 40,
39, and then we'll have
a couple, 43 services.
community HOA meters.
Yep. So really, the difference, we'd be acquiring an asset in order to require an entire community to tie into our irrigation system. Additionally, we would so instead of them getting the HOA gets the bill, we would individually meter the irrigation services. The potable is already individually metered in that community. So ultimately, their HOA has approved this. I did receive the documents back today. They are interested in turning this over to the district, and then we would work to convert those. There's already service lines, so really,
It's already an irrigation line from the main to the house.
Yes.
We're just going to intercept it with a meter.
yes, we would just cut in a meter.
If you look at in the agenda packet, the exhibit that's in there,
The picture
yeah, the picture, the one that Austin did in purple.
Oh.
I think you see the
Did I-
exhibit.
Yeah, it's in there.
further down.
Yeah, keep going. Austin did a really good job on,
Dollar value for,
there we go.
None.
The text is mine, the graphics are
no dollar
Austin's.
value whatsoever.
He did a great job, by the way, I appreciate
So,
Austin.
So we're going to go down and we're going to make the point of connection for Daniels Preserve, Daniels, what do you call it?
Parkway Apartments.
Parkway Apartments. Their point of connection is which,
There's a, Bill, come explain
right there
ARV
at that point
blow
or
off.
at the other line?
There's a 6-inch valve there that's tied to a 2-inch blow off.
My point is where on the
Right at
map?
the back
Right where
of the
that blue is.
cul-de-sac.
Where that
Okay,
blue
right
dot-
there, okay. So they're going to come up that easement,
They can
tie
tie right
into
into
that.
that valve.
And it's a 6-inch?
6-inch valve.
And has somebody done a flow study to verify that
Yes.
this line
Tetra Tech did that.
Tetra Tech did
with,
that.
within
We'll
its
support
use will be able to serve them?
Yes.
With all those extra meters, okay.
Yeah.
Because we're
So-
only
What
come up,
happens if we don't do anything?
And so they would stay a master metered community, and we would continue to bill them as is. You're just, and you're billing the HOA or the homeowner. Either way, it's kind of like in Pelican, it's one out of way or
For
the
us,
other.
it's best. This is
Yes.
the best option.
For us, this is
Why?
best because then we can require Daniels
no, I cut-
Parkway to tie in to our system.
Chelsea, the property to the right where that box is, what property is that, Bill?
There's a conservation area, and then there's Daniels Parkway's apartments.
And we own the conservation area tract?
Yes, which is what you sent me today.
That's the conservation easement,
My
but
only concern was is if there wasn't enough pressure to be able to get the flow. If there's enough pressure and they've done the study.
Yes, we
great.
did the hydraulic modeling, and staff is recommending acceptance at no cost well, let me back up. There is a cost to the district, and that's for buying the meters and putting them in, but the HOA has not required any cost for us to buy this line
So
from
there's
them.
no meter connection fee that we're going to charge to those 43 taps. So that's what they're getting in exchange for this, is they're getting a 5/8 inch so many 5/8 inch meters, and I'm assuming the common areas are 5/8 inch also?
There's possibly 2 5/8 and 1 inch and a half.
Inch and a half up front?
Yeah.
Okay. For
I'll
larger,
make a motion, we accept 11A as written.
a second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Yeah. All right, Lauren?
Are they aware that this was going to be up, so that the whole well issue is
So
dead?
I've mentioned this. I did not say it was official because I was waiting for this meeting to see how the board would vote, but we will be providing our resubmittal 8 comments back to Daniels Parkway Apartments, and they are hoping to come in front of you guys at your next meeting for approval. But ultimately, anything behind the meter, yeah, so.
Okay, so I was asked at the last meeting by Carol to bring back what's left of the original bond validation that we did. So of the engineer's report, there was a total of $55 million that was validated. We've issued $13,565,000 so far in bonds. That was the 2023 issue, and which leaves us the 31,800.
31 million.
Or 31 million.
Could you
31
go to your
million.
chart, please?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we've spent 13.4 million, and we got 31.8 left?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, knowing that there's a lot of waterway stuff that still needs to be done, I wouldn't want to touch any of that. But if I'm looking under roadways and landscaping, that 8,448,000, is that programmed for anything right now?
No, the first column is what we estimated all of the projects that we were going to do, where the 55 million was made up of. The blue column in the middle is what we actually took the bonds out for in 2023. And so the remaining column is what's left. So
We have essentially those in blue, the project names are what that 8.4 million would be for. So if we had a shared use path on Tree Line and we wanted to take out another bond series, we would eat up some of the sidewalk maintenance and replacement. So the 540,000 we would have available to use.
And what makes up the 13 million? Is it completed?
All of those,
everything under
that column.
So you're saying that
under this
FPL
column.
project was 8 million two, and we're done, and we spent only $1 million, we got 7,200,000 left?
Yes,
Why is that?
Because when we originally did the bond series, we thought we were going to replace and keep it private, and Tetra Tech had done an estimate on private utility,
Okay.
and
So
we converted
So it's
to
amortized now into the rate.
Yeah,
So we avoided paying the capital.
yes.
So that money is free.
Within the roadway and landscape category,
Correct.
is my understanding from bond council, but we would have to confirm.
So in other words, we can't reallocate it to another,
To a different silo, no, you cannot
Couldn't use that
reallocate.
for
without
irrigation.
going back to them.
No, you could use it for the master irrigation, it can stay within that silo.
So any of these projects under the road and
there's
landscape
master
area
irrigation.
can be used, those funds can be used for road and landscape. Same with waterway, it can be used for anything under waterway, admin.
So it's in that
admin.
master name.
Yes.
So if I go up at waterway management, then we had budgeted, or we have available, that going back to what we talked about earlier, the bathymetrics and the ponds aeration, we have almost $1 million sitting there.
Well, there's something we can issue a bond series, I think,
We would have to issue an additional bond series, yes.
Correct.
So
because the left column is other projects. I mean, the 2023 is the second column. The amount from the master engineer's report is anything
yes.
and everything.
So the very first column was all of the projects that we listed when we went to talk about getting the bonds validated. This is like anything and everything that we thought that we would finance with a bond.
Right.
The second column is the stuff that the projects we actually listed out and took out bonds to complete. And so then the third column is the difference between
Whatever
those
difference.
two.
Okay, well, what I
But
understand
doesn't
is,
Gateway have a lot of ponds that you still have to do?
yeah, they're in there too. You got Lake Bank
We
Restoration,
have the
13
Lake Bank
million.
Restoration on
Hadn't
here.
been
There's
done.
a line for 13 million.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, if we had surface aerators, we had 832 budgeted in the original master engineer's report, and we spent 260. What did we spend 260 on?
You spent 2.6, well,
Surface aerators.
we spent some money on the bathymetrics and the sediment core sampling. We did put some aerators in back in 2022. And if you recall,
Where were those at?
I'd have to get the list and send and give it to you.
I mean, it wasn't Stony Brook or Hampton Park?
No, not to my knowledge. I think there was a couple of Daniels, yeah.
That's what I was guessing. But my point is that if that money that is dedicated, that was 20,150,000, and we've only spent 3,197, we have 16,953 allocated within those 6 or 7 items under the title Waterway Management, correct?
Tony has some.
That doesn't mean they've been spent. Those are the
Available.
bond series budget.
That's what I mean.
No, it's not been spent yet. I mean, the bonds were issued for the total amount at the bottom of that second column, which tallies up all those categories, but that doesn't mean all that has been spent.
So at 13 million, not all of it's been spent?
Most of it had.
No, the 13 million,
No.
If we run across a pond that needs to be dredged now, and let's say that's 2 or 3 million, is that capable of being taken out of this 13 million?
If it was in the original engineer's report as one of the areas for ordinary.
I don't think that's the question.
We
I
would
think
have-
she was asking, is it in one of those categories? I don't think it is.
No, it's not in one of those categories, but let's say,
It would fall under ponds, right? I mean,
let's say you do your bathymetrics and all that sort of stuff, and you run across a pond that's got to be dredged now. And let's just say it's 3 million. I'm pulling the number out of the air. I have no clue. Can that 3 million be paid out of that?
We have to look at the engineer's report and see what waterways and which bodies of water were contemplated to be revised. And then how much has been allocated in the 23 bond issue that's already been issued? How much is left if you want to do another bond? And then whether or not you can issue a bond to do that. You might
Potentially.
Yeah, you might potentially have the ability to issue another bond depending upon.
Somewhere in there was a yes.
But since there's a doubt that there's dredging anywhere in, because I remember when we did this, that was never discussed. It was never discussed when we did that. In order to get that 3 million that Carol's talking about, we could go back to the bond holders and get permission.
I don't think you need to. I think you can just modify the engineer's report to a supplement to something we can ask bond counsel, because it's within the realm of water management, and it doesn't change the allocation, doesn't change the
That answers the
percentages, and all that. So a
There
lot,
was a yes in there.
yeah. Thank you.
but we would have to do another bond issue. It's not covered under the bonds that were already issued. We would have to issue an additional series of bonds.
But it's
It could be-
within the scope of the total 45.
We'd have to,
correct?
we would have to,
verify.
we'd have to verify.
But typically that's what will happen. A supplemental engineer's report within the bond issue in that category, yeah, it might be possible.
Okay, and then under the roadway and landscaping, what can come out of there?
For
So,
bond?
I mean, you've got the master irrigation renovation, and that's a program that's coming up soon,
We have-
relatively soon.
And we have a shortfall on that project.
Okay,
So-
so you could use some of the street pole wiring and fixture replacement to offset that
Yes,
Um,
with
additional amount.
the engineer, an updated engineer's report and a new bond series.
And bond counsel saying that that's okay, which typically is
Yes.
that, because within the category of roadway and landscaping, again, the percentages and allocations remain the same under the
Yes,
methodology.
correct.
That's the key. You're not changing the methodology.
All of this ties back to the old
And
methodology.
what about a security fence? Is that with,
That would fall under
Would that-
Parks and Rec.
Park and Rec.
that wouldn't fall under roadway and landscaping?
Probably not.
It looks pretty.
What security fence are we talking about?
Fence around, security around the Commons
The
Park, or the new
Commons.
Commons Park.
No, I think that's different than an exterior boundary fence like the one on Sea
So
Line.
a couple examples, Carol.
Okay.
That'd be different.
So we could, unless we chose to self-fund or take out a short-term loan, when it comes time to do the construction of the shared use path on Tree Line and/or this Griffin sidewalk, we would need construction dollars. So Because the street pole wiring and fixture replacement is, that project's complete, to Tony's point, we'd go to bond council, we'd say, hey, we've got this credit line still out here of X amount of dollars, we'd like to reallocate this towards these projects. Same category, same silo, because it all goes back to the assessment methodology. Same thing with the commons. If you decided that we wanted the zoysia that we've talked about, and it's $500,000, we don't have $500,000, we would add that as a project in the next bond series and borrow the $500,000 of the remaining Gateway Commons construction, $5.5 million. A security fence, the band shell. If the soccer complex, if you chose that we wanted to borrow from that, we could go here to this Parks and Rec and do another bond series. The same thing with the master irrigation renovation system. We have a shortfall on that project. So we could move some money around within those silos and take out another
So you're just
bond.
going back basically and amending the master engineer's report to accomplish a new revised schedule of costs.
Maybe supplementary, like a
It's a
supplementary report.
supplement. We wrote the master broad and the supplement is detailed. So yes, the point is you have an available funding source for some of these projects that we've been talking about, if you so chose to use it. And that would be a 20-year amortization because that was established in the original MTI, the master.
Now, that Gateway Commons construction though, that's 6,000,000 and 50,000, 550, that'll all be spent if this were in 2026, correct? That's how we're paying for the building.
We're paying for,
No, the building is under administration.
the building is
up at
under
the
a
very
different
top.
category up at the top. Yes, to Carol's point.
So the Gateway Common construction, what on earth?
Park.
That just was park cost?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay.
Well, we only borrowed 550,000.
Correct.
And we're funding that with carry forward from unrealized projects and interest earnings to pay for the phase one improvements. So we've only borrowed 550 on
So
that
there's still
commons.
$5.5 million left from that original report for the commons.
That you could use.
For additional things.
Or could you use it at Fun Park too, or?
As long as it's Parks and Rec, we
We would go back and look at the MTI and
See.
see what it says.
Correct.
I
But again, that would be another bond
Would we
issue.
want to do that? We would want to spend any, like, I'm just want to, like, here, sorry, it's blocking me. Carol, would we want to do that? 'Cause I mean, I was there, I don't know, maybe like 3 weeks ago. I mean, I love how those exclusives, like the hedge, it's like a nice hedge landscape, but I don't know what will we do there, like for improvement at the fun park.
Oh, no, I'm not saying, I don't have anything in
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I'm just saying,
Is it tied up to just this?
could
Okay,
you,
okay.
could it happen?
If you had, so if you had projects that you were thinking about, we could go back and look at the MTI and see if we wrote it broad enough to cover it.
Okay, what about soccer fields? Do those come under Parks and Rec?
It would fall under Parks and Recreation Fields and Amenities, and there's $600,000 remaining in that line item.
And when we last talked, I think you said it would be about 2.5 million if you did all the land
Yes.
restructuring with the proper drainage and.
Lights and everything.
Lights and everything and,
Yes, ma'am.
and made it a quality product.
Yes, ma'am.
Could that money be taken out of this silo? This
Yes.
Parks and Rec silo?
Yes.
If we knew what the source of the revenue is to get 75% of it back.
Yeah, that's what I,
That's the catch.
Yeah,
That's the catch.
I'm just
but
asking.
you're just asking the
I'm
same way the
asking
fun
one
park. Can you
question
do
at a
it?
time,
Yeah,
So
Okay.
the parking lot that we've talked about, that could fall under the road portion. The road repair and replacement. It could fall under,
Oh, way back in the back?
Yeah, the
That
expansion.
500,000? Okay,
so another example, we've been doing point repairs.
The one that we have 468,000?
Yeah.
Road repairs
Yep.
and placement.
That could be, if we had any new roads that we needed repaved, that we owned. We have what was I just saying? before,
So you use this money to the parking lot, that's what we're talking about.
yes, hold on, I just lost it.
Doesn't qualify for a dog park, though.
That could fall under Gateway Commons construction.
Why in the lead in, under 11B, does it say 55 million validated?
On the master trust indenture, there was $55 million that was validated.
Okay, how did that compare with the 45,300,000?
That was the total of the projects.
So we validated for more than what we
Okay, so
did.
we talked about
Because
that,
I
yeah.
think we
We
said,
went
let's just
higher.
put everything that we want,
yeah.
that, just at least we have to do it.
So we didn't have to do it
Yeah,
twice.
to save costs.
You had a lot of bond counsel and closing costs for the MTI that were incorporated in that first thing, so.
$5 million is a lot of bond counsel.
Just in general. Just kidding.
I think we've had it because every time that you do issue bonds, there's some pretty significant costs
Costs,
to
yeah,
it, and that
yeah.
way it's all.
I remember that conversation.
So if you had a list of projects that you wanted to take out another bond series on, what it would look like is you would tell us what projects those were. We'd work with Tetra Tech on drafting a supplemental engineer's report. They'd go back and look at the master and say, okay, yes, all of these projects fall within these categories, and yes, you have, and working with bond counsel and Tony and saying, you've got this much money remaining. We would, Tony, chime in at any point. It would come in front, that supplemental engineer's report would come in front of you for your review. You would look at that. We would set a public hearing for, no?
Again, if we want to issue another series of bonds, we just have an amended supplemental engineer's report, and we modify the master trust indenture, do another supplemental trust
And
indenture.
no public hearing.
I'm sorry?
And no public hearing?
No.
Same as what we
already
do
had
with
all public
utilities.
hearings.
Because they already
Yes,
validated it.
true. So then
We
you
would
would,
just have a revised,
Yeah, because the original,
amended
the original
engineer's
assessment
report, and
methodology,
it does not have to go to a public
the
hearing?
original assessment methodology put a debt service cap
Right.
based upon that $55 million that was validated. As long as we don't exceed that debt service cap per ERU, or however the categories are broken down, then we don't need to go back and revalidate or reassess.
perfect example, Laura just reminded me. You just approved 9D, which was a supplemental engineer's report for utilities.
For the water and sewer.
For the water and sewers, which is totally different. You didn't have to have a public hearing for that because that original master went through and did the whole rigmarole.
Back in '89, it was validated
Yes.
way back then.
So this would work the same way.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for doing this.
You're
'cause
welcome.
I think I understand it better now.
Well, and I want to just chime in real quick. So you do have projects on here that we have completed, and that FPL one is a perfect example that you have $7 million, a little over $7 million within that silo if you had other projects that were covered in the MTI. Same thing goes with in the underwaterway management. We had interpond transfer structure modifications. That project's complete. There's 296,000 that's remaining as part of that MTI. So if you had, to your point, a dredging project or on a smaller pond, that we could move the money around within the silo with a new bond series and address some of these things. If we needed to self-fund another pond restoration, we have the available funding source to do it. We would have to go through a process to do so.
Was the 2023 bond exactly 13,439
Yes.
million? That was it?
Yes.
Okay.
The
And again,
amount
to the point, we don't need to have public hearings, but everything has to happen in a public meeting, as for any other bond issue.
Yeah, the middle column, the budget, that was the exact amount of the bonds that were
So
taken out for those
So in
projects.
essence, the amended engineer's report would be dealing with the column that's got 31,861.
Yes.
Is essentially what it's doing, reallocating that money.
Yes.
Okay.
And keep in mind, because of how this was validated, it was under the prior methodology. Okay.
Which means
You have to apply, you have to use that, yeah,
Yeah.
Pelican
that
pays
format to-
14%.
Whatever the
rather than
format to pay
17?
for it.
Is that what?
to allocate the debt, yeah.
And the more money you use, then that becomes, no. Because you're paying the same amount for the bonds
Just goes
every
back-
year.
Well,
Just goes back to the old allocation before we did the
yes.
So if
the
you do a
change.
new, if you do a new bond issue, you have
You would
new
have debt.
So then there'd be a new dollar amount allocated per unit based upon the methodology. Well, again, as long as you see the
Most
cap,
recent
the original
methodology.
methodology.
Could you have this available for us when we start talking about budgets?
Sure.
Yeah.
What we need is a recap from you all of all the projects in each of the categories that could be done
Oh,
and thought of, so that we can maybe prioritize them.
so glad, because that's next.
That'd be easy.
Well, part of it is Parks and Recreation is next.
Okay. Thank you for doing this.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so this is pretty much, it's a regurgitation of what we looked at the last time, with some minor modifications to it. I tried to make it as simple as I could. We assumed with the rates the way they are for financing with a 20-year loan, that it would be between 5 and 6%. I've seen stuff a little under 5. I've seen it at like 5.7. So we went with 5 and 6. Most likely we'll be able to get a better rate. But you had asked me to come back and look at it at a 50% recap and a 75% recap of costs. When I did this, I did make assumptions that, like, I know that this probably won't happen this way, but that if all the costs were incurred and paid for in 1 year, this is what the total would be. So the fields are 1.5, and then the parking lot is a $500,000. They did the annual P&I doing $2 million at 20 years. So this would be at 6%, it's basically $172,000 a year. And at 5%, it's $158,000 a year. The O&M doesn't change because the O&M comes right out of the budget. So it doesn't matter. The percentage doesn't apply. What I did down here with the one then, because Mr. Tinkle had mentioned that he wanted the P&I to be covered completely through the field rate. So I assumed that this whole amount would be covered. At a 50% recap of the O&M and capital costs, the amount that the residents would be responsible for is about $232,000. And at 75%, it would be about $116,000 of this 463.
So we're still looking for income, revenue.
Where's Denzel?
Do what?
Where's Denzel? The
Yeah.
kid, where is he
He's a
at?
good fundraiser.
Where's he at?
So I mentioned this at the last board meeting, and you will be seeing a sponsorship package opportunity that Randy and Laura and I have been working on to bring in front of you to hopefully address these issues, right? Providing different opportunities for naming rights of individual fields, of the complex. Obviously we always keep Sherman Soccer Complex, so it could be, Joe's Plumbing at Sherman Soccer Complex. But we are basing our sponsorship opportunities off of this type of, at least for the Sherman Soccer Complex, and then we're using the Commons construction cost with OEK's contract to estimate those sponsorship opportunities and bring back to you a whole package that we would like to start to hit the ground running and seek sponsors on these different amenities to help offset these costs. And albeit each vendor could be different. It could be a 1-year contract. It could be a 5-year contract. It could be a 20-year contract. So that is one way we are looking to help offset some of these costs. But
When you're doing that last paragraph, Laura, take me through the math. You say at a 50% recovery would be 231, which
Yep,
is
so
50%
it's
of
this
463. We're at
right
463.
here. It's the O&M and capital. I said I assumed that the full cost of the P&I would be covered. So the cost of the residents
Okay.
would be 231,857 at 50%, and then obviously 75% recovery, which 25% of that cost would be their responsibility. So that's here. I did the math. That's why I kind of laid it out. So this O&M is O&M. That doesn't change.
so with regards to the soccer complex, because I believe it was 2 meetings ago that you all decided that if we do it, we want to do the whole thing at one time, right? We have started having preliminary discussions with our existing vendor. They've given us an estimate. It's actually, it's $2 million is what it comes out to be, and that's doing the irrigation, the whole shebang. And what the timeline of that would look like. And so some of the conversations, you know, you tell us when, because, and there's options. So, right, if we look at this and you say you're willing to forego one spring season of revenue, we could do a spray of seeds instead of rolling sod out. If you say, no, we don't want to forego a season of revenue and say, hey, we just want to do really like a long extended summer shutdown, then that'll drive that decision. But
Well, that'll be easy because it'll be, is there a $50,000 difference?
and we're working on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But what I'm trying to gauge right now with you all is that, does that look like that's next year, or is that 2+ years from now? Because we're making decisions on summer shutdown now and investing. But if we're gonna do this next calendar year, I'm not gonna throw good money away if we're just gonna kill it in 6 months.
So to me, there's a couple factors in that. Two factors. One, does our existing revenue stream meet our expectation? And I don't mean existing, I mean at the time where, you know, let's say the improvements are done or whatever, would our existing revenue meet our criteria? Okay. If that's the case, then we could do that in a year, whatever. If we don't believe our existing revenue at the time of the improvement when we need to have that, whether it's 50%, 75%, whatever that is, if that's not the case, then we need to look at setting up a bid process. And that bid process would be kind of contingent on those improvements being done. So that might, let's say we could bid, but it could be for a full calendar year ahead at the time. So we'd bid out and say this field will be available in 2028 or 2027. You know what I mean? Like it may not be a year out. It might have to be longer than that. Because if we bid, if we don't hit our criteria, then we pull the bid and we have to rebid again. You know what I mean? Like there's no guarantee unless we're walking into some organizations that already give us kind of a good faith, hey, we believe we can meet those estimates.
Well, and see, that's what with these sponsorships, that's what I'm trying to take the unknowns out of this scenario. Because if we can get sponsorships and a contractual sponsorship with Joe's Plumbing, then we know we
what
have.
Percentage of sponsorships are you looking to try to acquire? Or right now it's whatever?
Well, you have the difference between capital and like the P&I. Laura's numbers here.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
What are the leagues they're using the Red Sox right now?
That's Florida West. I don't believe they pay for those fields. Or if it is, it's minimal. That's the organization that came to us a couple of years ago.
That gentleman, and he was going to the whole.
I think he was going to pay up like over 75 or 100,000.
That's a little bit, yeah, he rents
Nothing.
a little bit.
Truthfully.
That's what it was a couple of years ago under current conditions.
I mean, I wonder if we can.
He rents here. He rents here.
Oh, he's not there anymore, or he does both?
No,
So
It's a little.
yeah, he offsets. Like because when the Red Sox closed down, that organization goes to Bayshore, and they go to Big Corkscrew. So that organization uses Naples Fields. They use North Collier. They use Big Corkscrew, which is off of Immokalee down east.
And
And they use Bayshore, and they use they're still county parks.
So I was wondering, has staff looked into those locations, reaching out, like literally going to visiting when they're doing games and seeing who are the teams that are out there, and if there's like you know, hey, we're thinking about doing this, would you be willing to come to Gateway?
I haven't focused our efforts on that right now. My focus has been on these sponsorship opportunities.
I mean, I can give you the list of.
I mean, that's a, you know.
And it's not hard to get a list of
And that's
of
one letter and
every
it just goes to
team,
everyone.
whether it's soccer, football, I mean, any sport that
Any
has,
sport
that has
is
a
gonna use
league.
fields.
The
Yeah.
issue we're gonna run into is, not issue, but a challenge is, the county does provide their fields. And now the problem is there's not a whole lot of fields. Like in North Collier, at any given night, you could have 5 different clubs or organizations operating on their eight fields. Because you're just
That's
leasing
not,
them
that's not
out.
counting vineyards either.
Yeah, right.
For the smaller kids.
So in this location, I'm not aware, the only location I'm aware of that it kind of is proprietary, well, Florida West is proprietary to JetBlue. Lee County Strikers is proprietary to Kelly Road. That's how we work it here. In Naples, I don't think there's a club that is proprietary or has.
FC Naples for
It's all over the
Paradise.
place. But again, you're not also talking about 2 or 3 fields. You're talking about 8 fields, and Paradise Coast has, I don't know, 8, 12.
There's something that's stuff.
I mean, yeah, but again, all of those leagues are going to want these fields at the same time that our existing people want them. So
You're
try
gonna
and
have to publicize it because there might even be a new club that hasn't been able to
But-
launch because they haven't been able to find fields, and that happens all the time.
I don't want to publicize if we're going to be shutting down next year for a duration of time. Like, I'd rather, like, if that's the decision and we know we're going to have new fields and we're going to proceed to replace, then, and that decision's been made here and I'm actioning it, then I'm going to go and say, we got new fields coming. Come, we want you here.
Like I said, that you may have to bid, sign a contract with a 12-month lead in before they'd be available. And that's not a big deal in some instances because
They'll build the league, they'll have time.
or even whether
that.
if it's new start or if it's an existing, because most teams have to schedule at least 6 to 12 months in advance. Whether it's Lee County or Collier County, they're scheduling all that out. Now, there is some a la carte scheduling like we do that you can pick up, but most of those fields have been scheduled out 6 to 12 months. So it would take that long for us, 1, to get the fields ready, 2, to probably give our existing, just hypothetically, our existing leagues an exit strategy, or work it in. So
If you're just looking personally, I would like to do the whole thing at once. I'd like to do the whole 2.5 million. I would like to do it in the 2027 budget year.
So we're looking at 2028 would be the first, in theory, would be the first availability of use.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how long does it take?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
Is it, I mean, I
construction would
wouldn't
probably
think
take at
it's
least 6 months.
Well, that goes back to, it depends on the way we implement. And I'm waiting on the
Cedar
numbers
side,
back.
right?
And, you say 2027 budget year, that's next year.
It's
Okay.
October,
So
like
we'll
7
approve
months.
next year, but we won't start until 2028.
No,
I'd
then you're
like
talking about
construction
2029.
to be
Oh, okay.
in the
No. It
2027
would
budget.
approve,
Summer
approve
next year.
and start, again, hypothetically, you would approve and start in 2027 with a 2028
No, we could,
availability.
if you fund it next fiscal year, we would do it this time next year.
Yeah, 2027.
Construction in 2027.
Yeah,
Opening in August, September of 2027.
2027 or 2028, it just depends on,
Well,
time
if-
frame or scheduling or construction or.
Where's the capital for lighting those fields?
We wouldn't touch the lighting.
No.
Doesn't touch lighting at
This
all.
does not touch lighting.
That's going to be a problem.
How much is lighting?
Lighting is terrible. Again,
It's another half to $1 million.
I have not approached Musco with about lighting. I wouldn't, you start to get into lighting and you start to get in, if we redo the sod here, this is maintenance and that's it. I don't have to get engineering, design and permitting. It is a maintenance function. If you get into lighting, then that's power, that's design, that's permitting, that's,
and I think that's, okay, I think we should at least look at it and have someone evaluate the lighting, because I'm telling you, even though it's better than it used to be, it is not good. It is not good.
Does that have any programs for parking and stuff like that? Nothing?
and the reason why I say lighting could be important, that's the difference between us shutting down at 9:30 with the youth leagues, or shutting down at 12, maybe 1 o'clock with adult leagues running.
Noise ordinance would not allow that.
I'm like, who's gonna be playing like at 1 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, I think we need to add
They
that
play
in,
till 11, 12
because I
o'clock.
thought that was an issue all along, that if you want to have a professional
if
deal,
you own a-
you
I'll
gotta
be
have
back
a
by
lighting.
8:30.
So
Ice rinks go
if you
24
touch
hours a day.
lighting, we're 2 years away. If you want to redo those fields, and I heard it from the vendor's mouth, we could do it next year.
The issue is, will it sell, and will we
That's the
get a return of 75% or to the tune of about $500,000 without lighting? That's the question.
And that's why I want to push the sponsoring. That's why I want to push
Push the what?
sponsorship.
So what kind of, in your best guess, how much money could that bring in annually?
A good amount.
It's a good amount. 100,000? I mean, 500,000 is a good amount. That's what we need.
Well, it depends. It depends on who comes to the table, because we're going to bring this to you guys next year. But naming rights of the complex is obviously a lot larger number than individual field sponsorships.
Who are you targeting? I guess that's my question.
I have been in conversations with a couple local
You must have
companies.
delivered this to us next meeting.
Yeah. Yeah, you can just set it there. Thank you. So I have
Thank
been
you.
I've been in conversations with some local companies that they approached us and said they are interested. I haven't gotten into the details because I wanted to be able to present something to them, but I needed your buy-in first. So it could be a 5-year term, it could be a 1-year term, it could be, really, all of that's part of negotiating. But my goal, Ed, is to capture. Do you want me to capture capital only? You want me to capture capital plus the 50% O&M? Because that's what I'm shooting for. I'm shooting for the stars, truthfully. I want capital and at least 50% O&M.
I think,
I would like to see the taxpayers not pay anything towards that asset, towards that amendment. That it'd be all expenses, maintenance, everything is paid for by that asset.
Yeah, that's a goal.
And if it,
yeah, that's,
But
I think it,
that's a
I think it
goal.
might
I
be.
support that 100%. Will never happen, though.
Yeah,
goal.
I mean,
I think it's
I
a
would love
dream.
to, I think, honestly, if I'm just, I think 250, probably the amount that we'll get.
That's max, I think, right?
No, I'm not talking about sponsorships. I'm talking about for lease and usage, at least, or, maybe coming out of the gate. I could be wrong, but that, to me, so that 500 would need to be split, 250 from direct revenue, from use, and then another 250 is going to have to come from either sponsorships or district-generated programs and leagues or
Well,
whatever.
and keep in mind, like, when I talk sponsorships, I'm not talking just the fields. I'm talking the concession stands. I'm talking the pavilions. I'm talking every asset that is over there to get a sponsorship on. So that's what I'm aiming towards. I'm not going to wage our bets on rentals of these facilities. If we can generate rental of the facilities, that's just an added bonus and reduce our burden to our taxpayer dollars. So based on the last 2 meetings ago, you guys said between 50 and 75. So that's what I've been aiming towards, and getting the capital covered into it as well. So if we can get naming of these fields and do a certain, if we can cover our costs, yeah, goal 100% would be our goal, absolutely. But the board said between 50 and 75.
Madam Chair, if I may, just Chelsea, I would suggest then, a number of organizations, local governments have donation, sponsorship, naming rights, policies and procedures.
Yeah.
So I think if you can take that and compile that. something
Yeah,
that
no,
you think
that's-
works. Because that way, because what happens is you'll end up with people saying, yes, I'll contribute $500, but I want you to maintain this a particular way for a certain amount of time
Yeah,
also.
so Tony, so
Cheers and Associates. Sounds very good.
Yeah, Woodward Piers,
so what?
$1 million a year.
people,
$1 million a year.
For the
Tony,
soccer people.
I got a Pelican Preserve Soccer Park.
That's great.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds
Sponsored by
nice.
Pelican Preserve.
That's a motion, there's a second.
I guarantee
You got all
you
this extra
I
money.
guarantee you $10.
Then you got a dog. Then
solved
you got
our
then you got a
problems.
dog in that fight. You got a dog in that fight.
Some people got deep pockets.
We overlooked that all this time.
What were we thinking?
so again,
Only greens preserve.
without
He's nothing to Pelican Preserve.
without knowing where this board stands with regards to forward progress of the soccer complex or not, again, trying to figure out from an operational day-to-day, I'm trying to figure out if Carol, if that is the board's stance next year is to do all of this, then I'm not going to have staff throw big money at repairs this summer on these fields because we're going to kill it 3 months later. In the same sense, I'm not going to go out and try to, drum up business to come back when we're going to shut down for a time period, whatever that is, once I get the numbers. So JSM does have the county's contract for these field maintenance. So that's something I'm waiting on the updated number. Basically, I know what the number is for rolls and a shortened time span of shutdown. I don't know what the price is for the spray out of the seed. I've been told it's far less, but I'm
Did you
waiting
have
on
that at
those
the golf
numbers.
course? Didn't you guys spray stuff there?
Yes.
Yeah, we did.
So if,
It was like 7 months, I think.
9 months.
Yeah, that's what I recall.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. We would forego the spring revenue in next year. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, and we'd open up sometime September. We'd have 9 months of the fields being closed.
So April to December,
Yeah.
9 months.
I think we're going to end up with.
but that's
we're gonna-
also wet season, and that's the best time to grow grass.
I think we're going to have three options. One, we just do nothing and maintain it like we have been, with the idea we still have to increase revenue because we're still not even where we need to be. So we do nothing, we do something, and then we do all. This is do all.
I would like to include in that do all part, the electric, the lights.
The lights.
Because you're not going to tear up new grass and
I
fields
I just
to
know
put
because
down
I'm out
new
there.
conduit and stuff like that.
If I felt like the lights would even be okay, I'd be like, okay, we could just keep them. But those lights are bad.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Then I would include the lights.
So we can have Musco, who is the name in the game vendor, come out and inspect those lights and make recommendations and give us a proposal.
yeah, just get his assessment on okay, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're better than what I think compared to what a baseline average be. I'd like to get a
Yeah,
professional's assessment
100%.
to say you know what, these really need to be addressed, or really not that bad. All you got to do is maybe they just need to be tweaked or updated. But my concern is,
Get a professional report.
yeah, my concern is I think if we're looking to generate 500K worth of annual revenue, and today we're at 50 to 60.
We're not, we're,
Oh, what are we, 100 and?
yeah, we're at like
We're
150.
150.
I'm sorry, 150? It's still a
long ways to go.
significant jump. So we're going to have to take a little bit of a leap of faith or completely change how we're operating and managing the fields today.
So my
it'd be
goal
great.
with the sponsorship, we'll bring it to you guys at the next meeting. I want to be able to go out to these companies that I've been talking to and say, hey, this is what we're looking at, and negotiate something. To Tony's point, bring whatever is negotiated back to you all and say, okay, here's sponsorship opportunities. And in this packet that we've been working on is we've set, Tony, those expectations of, okay, if you're a naming rights, you get XYZ PDQ. If you're, a gold one, you're ABC. If you're a silver, you're AB, et cetera. So if I can get, Carrie just messaged, said lights for field 2 is $200,000. That includes auto shut off for fields 1.
Lights for, say that again?
is 200,000, but we will get a price.
For all, to replace all the lights?
Field two.
Field 2. Lights for Field 2 is 200,000.
Why are we just looking at field 2, or is there an issue?
There was an issue.
Okay.
Anywho, we'll have Musco come out and give us a comprehensive assessment and quote, but we know fees are going to go up. If we've set the fees, proposed fees based on the revenue that you guys said, 50, 75%. You'll have to make a decision on that. In tandem, we're going to have to continue to try to come up with alternative creative
And
ideas.
also, you need to look at our fields versus, let's say if we were building a, up to snuff field, you need to look at what we have versus other
Well-
facilities, because I don't know of one soccer complex that doesn't have a net behind the goals.
Oh,
And the way we're using them today from a recreational perspective is I think the 2 fields in the back, they use, let's call it full-sided. All the other ones run this way because they're for smaller age groups, smaller size. But again, if you're building this for
well, we're not building it for soccer, we're building it for multi-use.
But what I'm saying is, if I'm a club, I'm going to want to be able to use all of them either full, and what I'm saying is, I don't know of one complex where there's not netting to stop the ball from going in the road or stopping it from going, because our fencing is only, what, 6 feet maybe? Not even?
Yeah, except for field
Only
5.
this side, the
Yeah,
other side's
yeah.
even shorter.
So I mean, that's another expense. It's something we didn't consider. And what else are we not considering that?
We could have a concession that sells balls.
He does. He will. He will this Saturday, hopefully, as long as he can get his DOH inspection.
I think it's a great idea.
Bathrooms,
We have bathrooms.
okay.
Front and back, yeah.
Yep.
They're actually in pretty good condition. So anyway,
Concession stands open for now?
He will be. He's got to get his health department inspection. He just got his DOH permit yesterday.
Awesome.
Where are we on our agenda?
We're under Parks and Rec.
Parks and Rec
So,
discussion.
so back to this. So Laura ran the numbers. Here are some of the items that we're talking about. And we just went over the master trust indenture and all of the additional potentially available funding sources. But these were items that I know to be out there. And these are big ticket items.
I thought we said we were going to pause on the moving the dog park to the commons.
Yes.
Nothing back
Well,
to
but
back.
it's out there if you so chose to do so.
Where are the 200,000 replacement lights at Sherman?
I think
That's not even close.
That's an outdated number. I got to get Musco out.
it's just for one field.
Yeah. I got to get Musco out. So
There's another, what, 2 million bucks there? Yeah.
mill. It's a mill. We only have 4.5 fields.
What?
We only have 4.5 fields.
No, I'm saying right here, there's another 2 million bucks, not counting another million for replacement lights. So you could be at 3 million bucks, so the total of all of this.
Yep. And you had 6 million left at the Gateway Commons remaining. And you had some money in the Parks and Recreation and amenities under the bond.
Refresh my memory, the landscaping on Griffin Drive, what is that, the 460?
That's we have the irrigation. You guys said when we were doing this irrigation design that it would be smart to do landscaping design at the same time. And so that's the EOPC number to put landscaping, to do all of the sod to make it match the rest of the community.
That's my question. 460 is the sod.
It's sod and some improvements, which he's coming to you at the next meeting for a presentation. You guys you saw it once before.
No, I'm okay with sod.
That's the landscaping on Griffin, is that what we're talking about?
I'm okay with sod. I don't think this
It was
is,
just
It's going to be a
small.
this one's going to be a hot topic. Because the rest of Gateway paid for it when we bought. This group here did not pay for it.
what?
Wasn't done by the developer.
Oh, yeah, I know.
The rest of all Gateway was paid for by the people that bought lots in those areas that had the landscaping. This one was never done, so that's going to get
Yeah.
very controversial.
You know what also happens? All the people that lives in that community, like, also pay for all the maintenance for the other side, so it's kind of the same thing. You know, like the maintenance on our contract for cutting and mowing
So,
the zoysia,
I-
and the irrigation, we pay for it, but we don't get any of the benefits, so it goes both ways.
If I'm going to be completely honest, Laura and I are not clear with what you want moving forward on this. We
For
have given
Griffin?
you, for this Parks and Rec, because we've given numbers multiple times. We've told you of projects. If the intent is to put together basically what would be a soon-to-be supplemental trust indenture for borrowings and see where the numbers fall, we can do that. But we've talked and talked and talked, and I know the goal is to get our coverage, but, you know, we're still operating, we're still maintaining, we're still like, leagues are still renting opening days this Saturday for, I think, soccer. I just need a direction. And if the direction is, the goal is next year and I've got to figure out how to make that happen, I will do that.
Did our increases, have they gone into effect?
We haven't done additional increases yet. That, we have a public hearing coming to you in June for the next set of increases.
Which will go into effect for their fall season.
And that's 50% or 75% cost recovery number, which you heard it from them. $200 an hour is too much.
If we can get to a number between 50 and 75% funded as outside source, I will support wherever we go. If we can get to that threshold through your initiatives with the naming and sponsorship and all, then it'll be a good faith effort to move forward.
So, and just remind me, right now, our revenue is 150 we're collecting, and what
Yes.
percentage of that today?
For fiscal '25, it was at 41% of expenses.
So we almost have to double.
It's not bad.
Yeah,
But
it's not bad. But on the other hand, we got a lot of opportunities.
it's almost like we go,
If we can get it to 70,
or let's go to 60 next, and then, you know.
Well, keep in mind, you throw the lights back in, all butts are off.
Yeah, and then you change
but
the,
we, again, we got to deal with what we know today.
Yeah.
We can get to 75% today.
And that's, Ed, that's an excellent point. So are we taking 60% all in? I'm assuming so. P and I, any
Everything,
projects,
yeah.
anything.
That would be as low as it would go.
Okay. That's what I was under the
But that's a great
impression.
improvement over years past.
Okay. So we'll crunch the numbers and prepare the public hearing and get ready for that. We'll bring those numbers back to you. We do have a tentative fee schedule coming to you guys at the next workshop that you have for everything commons, everything forward with that, because that'll be here before you know it. But these large ticket projects, if you, yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
If it rates
We
go
need
hard right away, it's not good, but yeah.
Keep in mind, if you want to action these large ticket items with a supplemental trust indenture, I've got to get a TA from Tetra Tech. They've got to draft it and write it. We've got to get bond count. We've got to get everybody else involved, and that takes a little bit of time, on top of budget starting up soon enough.
Then we make that determination after we see how these initiatives and getting sponsors are.
Absolutely.
We're testing the waters. We don't know what it's going to yield.
That's why I want to get the sponsorship package in front of you as soon as possible and get your, at least buy-in on it. Tell all your rich friends that we've got naming rights available.
If
We got
I
naming
heard
rights.
things correctly,
I agree. No, I think,
I would say we want to
We'll consider
budget
it,
for
seriously.
these things in fiscal year '27.
Well, some of you already have it now, right?
I don't have anything budgeted
No.
for next year because you guys haven't told me the funding source. If
She
you,
wants some direction as to how soon and when.
The funding source and what, because it keeps bouncing around. We aren't sure what do you want
but
us
we
to
will need a
propose?
workshop to literally,
think
to
so.
go through these and
Just
decision
this.
them.
Yeah.
Say,
And a final, like.
prioritize them and start to slate them.
Because, and like I said, I see things that I thought we agreed not to be there, and then they're back there, and some stuff that, I agree
Well,
with
until,
that.
I think
like-
what Chelsea's saying, until we kind of vote and say, everyone,
So
this
let's do a
comes off,
workshop.
When all the costs are added and all the operation and maintenance and the capital amortized is added, and 50% of that, you've got that number covered, I'm ready to go. But if you don't, I'm not. 50%. So I mean, you've got a lot of work to get done to even get to the deal to say, go ahead.
Well, I don't think
Lot of work.
I don't think in the first round, you're gonna get 50% of capital plus O&M.
I'm not willing to take the guess that we're going to do it for 1 year and then the next 2, 3, 4
Oh,
years.
I get that.
If you've got a 20-year bond, you've got 20 years of costs you got to pick up.
Well, and if we can get 20-year commitments or 10-year commitments from sponsors.
Okay, so we're,
If you
Yeah,
get one.
that's right, well,
I just need, again, something to sell these.
Can we hijack one of the workshops that are coming up in the next, I don't know.
The next workshop was gonna be,
No, it doesn't have to be the next one. I think you're gonna need a little more time.
well, it was gonna be fees for the commons.
you need to, so then you have to restructure, then the next one needs to be this, and then one after has to be fees, because you need to know this first.
You're in the
A
budget
lot of
now.
time to get that put together.
You're in the budget.
For the first meeting in April. We can,
March,
And the
April,
majority
May,
of that
June,
workshop
you're
is
in the
gonna come
budget.
from like
This,
some of these
Do the
items
workshop.
that are not directly, I mean, some of them are, but some
Right
of these
here.
are independent of, you know, like Zoysia at the Commons, okay, well, we can have conversation on that.
well, that's a time-sensitive decision because
Yeah, it's
when are you gonna
happening.
plant it?
But those
Now.
are ones that are not tied to a revenue generation.
No.
So that
That's
one,
the
as an
deal.
example, are you, it's 500K
That's a lot.
for sod, just
rough,
switch the.
that's everything at the commons, 15 acres, well, minus the buildings and asphalt and everything, and irrigation.
And irrigation,
And then-
okay, so I'd love to know what the
I thought-
split of
yeah.
that is, what is sod
They're,
versus
they're
irrigation?
putting together the change
Okay,
order
yeah.
so I can print.
Somebody's
But-
coming in with a breakdown of all this.
OAK
and then-
is
Where do
putting-
where do you anticipate that funding source coming from?
That's what I need you guys to tell me.
I know, but like, what would you recommend? Is that a bond item or is
Well,
it
if you're gonna,
like that for years and you don't have to put anything on it? Whereas if you have half the park split down the middle because you've got shit grass on one side and the other side is manicured, it's gonna look not complete and it's not gonna be usable because people aren't gonna want to go from one side to the other side where it's nice grass to.
How many acres of sod did you say?
14?
well, the whole
15, the
site
whole
is
thing.
15. You gotta minus out all of the asphalt and everything.
So what is it,
buildings
half?
I haven't seen the quote yet. They
That's-
verbally told me what the number
It's
was.
250,000 square feet, $2 a foot, that you can't touch it. 500,000 won't touch it. No way.
No, they did get a quote from Mainscape. They verbally told me it was $500,000.
Including irrigation,
Yes.
that then ate half of 15 acres. There's no way.
Well,
No
hey,
way.
15 acres is
Numbers
the
don't
whole
add.
thing,
Are they
including
sodding or
like.
seeding?
15 acres is 650,000
No,
square
no,
feet.
There we go.
15
All right,
acres
well, let's
is
get
what
the
the
quote, and
pool
then
is,
we can pick it
everything
apart.
If you, let's say, take half of that, and that's sod, that's 300,000 acres, or 300,000 square feet. You cannot get zoysia at $1.67 and include irrigation. I'm telling you, somebody's smoking something.
I don't think.
I'll bring it for you. You'll see it.
Yeah, I was gonna
Let's
say,
see
I
the
don't
quote,
think,
it'd be
I don't
nice.
think those are just that.
Okay, so
expensive.
can we get a workshop so we can go through this, prioritize?
In April,
Yeah, I mean, whenever.
that's your next workshop. We, so
Why can't we have one?
Free next week.
Yeah.
Are you
Bob-
sure?
Bob, we're gonna.
You only come here half
Bob
of,
looked at you and said,
you only come to half the meetings.
The bald one at the end isn't buying that.
It's the 5th. The next meeting is on the 19th.
So-
Can we have a workshop on the 19th?
if you're asking me to put together like hard numbers, like from Musco and stuff, I need time. I mean, I can give you estimates, but it's gonna like, these for the most part are, I mean, the $500,000 for the soccer complex, that's from the EOPC from Tetra Tech. The lights at pool, I got a quote from Musco 2 years ago. Landscaping, that's from the EOPC. Replacement of lights, I got to get that updated. The dog park to commons, rough estimate. Perimeter fencing, I could solicit a quote, but if you only want to do like the PrAC committee was saying, just the front, then I gotta go call and make a call and get an estimate. The zoysia, again, I gotta call OAK and say, hey, send me the quote. So most of it's done. But
Well, here's, I think two things might be able to happen. Like, we can go off potentially estimates, and then we can agree in principle, okay, we really like the idea of having lights at the pool. That's something that we think it would increase the value of the pool, get more people using it, whatever. Okay, so let's prioritize that as a 2027 item. Okay, let's just say the dog park. Maybe we agree.
Doug, if you're doing all these, you're going to come back to the same thing. All of it's going to be under a common bond issue. So phasing them isn't going to make any difference.
No, but what I'm
We just
saying
need
is
to
that there
know
might- there-
accurate numbers.
But isn't it, you're looking for, to give you direction on what we're going to do, what we're not going to do, and when we're going to do it,
Well,
correct?
the biggest part is, to Ed's point, is the funding source, because if you're gonna do a bond and you're gonna go through that exercise,
Fine.
do it one time, throw it all in and be done. But if you're saying, okay, we
I
want
thought
to,
we had, is this not possible in the 31?
it is.
Yeah, so,
You have to do a new bond issue, though.
we have to do, because we're adding new items?
Yes.
Uh,
We've
each-
already-
Think of it-
All you got to do is do the engineer's report, and get that redone. So we could.
So
do
we have a
that.
funding source.
They just need an
We-
idea of
We
what
have
we're
the
doing.
funding source. That's,
If you choose to use the bonds, yes.
well, I don't
Yeah.
think anyone would,
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
any,
think we
does
would
anybody
use
have
the
any other
bond.
option?
Yeah, I think-
No, I
You
think we
could
all
do-
agree we
you-
do a bond.
Yeah,
You
no,
could do
well,
a
you
bank
could.
loan.
You could do a 5-year instead of a 20-year.
Okay, so,
I-
but still,
I'm okay with 20 years, because I don't know, I maybe,
Yeah, I won't be here. Thank you, darling.
Make it 25.
maybe, yeah.
You might be here in
so,
25.
but I think the decision is like funding source, we can figure that out. I think it's more like, what do we want to do? And like, what do we want to do next? And what's something we might want to push off
Okay,
to a
so
3 years? or
Let's do
whatever.
this.
They just modify this and make it as accurate as possible.
That,
agree.
and it'll be more of a capital projects
Plus or minus
discussion,
30%
capital
or
projects
whatever.
discussion, because then that'll wrap in your aerators. And we'll do it very broad stroke, but again,
Because, here, let me just add one thing. We know if we use, let's say, another 10 to 15 million, we know what that amount's going to be as far as impacting assessment. So,
Generally.
So we know, and that's what we're trying to do, is we're trying to figure out what impact is that going to have on the community. It's like, if we want to stay within a certain assessment amount, I think. I mean,
What we
in-
need to
in
do is to
theory.
go back to what we was talking before on that last chart. Have you give us all of the capital items that we know or we foresee, include these, and then let's start going through them of how we want to do these and re-rank them.
Because, I mean, the funding amount to me, like, we know what impact that's going to have on assessment, by dollar amount. So if we just say, look, we believe we have an assessment tolerance of, 10 million or 15 million that residents can absorb and we're not going to get shot in our sleep. Then we can back into it. Okay, well, what items do we want to fund for that amount? It's different when we're trying to approve something that needs to be done, like whether it's ponds or irrigation or meters. Like these are just do it items. Some of these are not just do it. They're for cost of live or quality of life or whatever else. So that's where we need to pin these down. See what do we want to do within the budgeted amount.
for me, it's the timing of a lot of these things. So like the Zoysia, the $500,000 in Zoysia, if you want to make that happen at the Commons, that decision needs to be made now, and we've got to action that.
Like to me, that's a
And
no-brainer.
find half a million.
Only thing I want on that is show, I want to see the details to know that that number is accurate. I don't want 500,000 become 1 million.
Yeah, exactly. We've been down that road. Okay.
So we'll schedule the April to be a workshop, a
So-
capital workshop.
The first April meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
I will boot the fee schedule to the next meeting. I'll give you as accurate numbers as I can up to that point.
Good.
Okay, so the next meeting, you're talking about the 19th.
No, ma'am.
No.
The first
That won't-
April
There's
meeting.
no way we can have this ready for the next meeting, because we only have a week. That's not enough time.
April 1st.
You've got 2 weeks.
Got to be
We have to have
published
the
7
agenda
days
stuff
in
done
advance.
by a week. We have to have everything done a week ahead of time.
Oh, okay,
So it only gives us a week. It's not enough
okay,
time.
all right.
Next.
11D.
Okay, so this is I had the same question that Marty did to Chelsea earlier today. This bid for the engineering came in about 51,000. and the one from up above, the Griffin Drive, was about 30,000, something like that. So why the big difference? And so at risk of great life and limb today, I went slowly down the right side of tree line because Chelsea said there's a bunch of swales there, there's, and I did get honked at twice. Like,
called
what you
honked?
doing, lady?
Oh.
Speed up here.
What's all that got to do with engineering fees?
Well, I
She's getting that.
understand why it's so much more, why it's 51 for the tree line one. And then when coming over here today,
29.
you look down Griffin
nothing.
here and it's flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that impacts the construction costs, but I don't see how that impacts the engineering.
Designed for more time for moving drainage ditches and swales and permitting there's more driveway cuts.
What you're saying is there's more activities associated with the construction of the tree line sidewalk, because this one's a pancake out here.
Yes, pretty
You have
much.
South Florida permits, and you have across, all the design
Yeah.
elements.
Okay, I'll make a motion, we approve 11D for the engineering cost.
Gonna do D and E together, Bob?
Yeah, I'm sorry, yes, D and E.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Aye.
Source for both of those. One was out of the bond, the other, because we had some money left in the bond. The other was to be budgeted for next fiscal year.
Whatever you need to get the money from.
Or you can choose to pull the money for the tree line one out of reserves.
Only
Or if-
51,000.
Or if you're going to do another bond series, you would wrap that into the bond series.
We want to get it done this year, let's not put it in the bond series. Let's take it out of reserves.
You're not going to get construction done this year.
I didn't say that, the engineering.
You want to get the design
Get
done.
get that done this
Okay,
year.
so either it needs to, then really needs to come out of reserves, the 51,000.
So
We need a
take that
Yes,
50,
please.
I'll make a motion, we take it out of reserves.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay, thank you. All right, I have one item,
Did you do both of them?
yes.
Okay.
Bob made the motion, Carol second, or Ed,
Doug
Doug seconded. You have in front of you a pretty graphic. I was contacted today. Lee County Natural Resources is trying to go to the legislative session and get support from Byron Donalds for essentially an adjustable weir at 6 Mile and Daniels. They need
Two of them there.
two. Okay. Ultimately, they need support in this. The city of Fort Myers is drafting a letter. I would like to draft a letter and support the county in that, because ultimately it ties the slough into 10 Mile, which pushes water out, and that the slough impacts us. So I'm looking for your approval to send a letter of support.
Wait a minute here, I want to make sure, this is critical. All of the water out of Gateway is coming down this path. They do anything to putting in any type of a weir that
Restriction.
does anything
Cork in the
other
bottle.
than going down is not in our best interest.
Well, I looked at it and I thought the same thing you did, but I thought, well, if they have an adjustable weir, in anticipation, they can lower it
That's the
to accept greater
That's the
volume.
intent.
If that's
My
what their
point
intent is.
My point is the control, let's put it in the words we know. If the control elevation's going up, I'm
Not
not
good.
for it.
No, but
at all.
just to go down, no
Just to
higher
go
than it
down.
is today.
Last thing we want is when that goes up, all that does is make our ability
And,
to
and how
control
about these
water
words?
that worse.
That it is no higher than the existing one today, but potentially lower, we support it.
To help
The adjustable.
expedite flow out of the system, not retain.
And in anticipation of
Yeah.
impending
I just
storms.
do not want the control elevation
To be
under
any higher.
any circumstances to go up.
I
Right.
can draft that in the letter and,
Then
if.
I'm
and
willing
put
to
that-
move.
They need it by 3:00 tomorrow, so
Okay.
Get on it.
Use your best words. You know our intent.
I'll work with
As
Tony.
Ed
I already
said,
sent you a draft.
no higher,
Yeah.
we'll
did?
accept
George already
lower.
put on letterhead.
You've not seen it?
I did.
Must be good.
And it's a pretty
Can you
graphic,
print it then?
Do
We
you
have
need
to tweak
sign
it.
that stuff?
very pretty map.
Yeah, we will.
But I think those are excellent points to put in the letter.
Okay.
And I think one other aspect of the letter that, to get the point across to Congressman Representative
The only
Donald,
thing that I thought over there, when I drive by and look at it without trying to wreck at that interchange, I thought that was a fixed weir now.
It is.
So the control.
wanna adjust.
They want
They want
to
it
make it
adjustable.
adjustable. but-
Down.
Okay, just as long as they make sure it's understood.
Tony had a
It's-
good point about adding the number of,
registered voters and residents in the district. That's always gets the attention of elected representatives.
Why is this at Byron Donald? He's federal.
Yeah, it's federal funding.
federal, it's a legislative
Oh, okay, I
fund.
thought it was South Florida Water Management.
No, it's a federal, it's federal funding request.
Well, yeah, he'll be governor soon, right?
So if I can just get your support in supporting the county.
You need a motion?
Yes, ma'am.
So moved.
Second.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay.
What they need to do is clean that channel out all the way down.
Funny you mentioned that, there's either a news story or the news press or one of the TV stations where they've been clearing it out to 10 mile further south. And the people are upset because they're taking too much of the vegetation along the banks out. Because
What's causing the problem?
Brazilian pepper,
That's the cork.
no, exotic vegetation and mangroves, but there's some graphics of it.
The guy I spoke to said that he was getting a lot of complaints about that.
Some
Go
great,
down there to, like, if you're going to
Island Park.
Lico Road, turn right, go
Island
back
Park.
north up 41 and you cross the bridge.
Island Park.
That is nothing but choked in there. They need to clean it out.
That's what they're working on. If you look at, there's a news story about that. I can send that. It's
What a mess.
a pretty good
I don't
picture.
have anything else. Other than, no, that's all I have.
Your turn.
Tony?
Just working with Chelsea and Pedro and Gilberto, everybody else on the bond issue. Man, just routine matters. That's it. Unless there are any questions for,
Chop liver over here.
thank you.
Agenda management, we got a heavy meeting at your next meeting. So we got a public hearing.
I'm going to be in Brazil. That means.
I might be in Argentina.
Tell Flavia I said hey.
All right.
So just letting you guys know, prepare for,
Not my fault that the thing wasn't working. You saw, I took a
prepare for a long
screenshot.
night.
E-bikes on district properties, who's attacking that deal?
Nobody, it's in purgatory.
Chelsea and Paul.
Well, last that I recall, Tony was going to look into statute that something has changed about,
Thought they had recently.
yeah, they recently upgraded statute.
Or e-bikes?
Mhm.
They haven't changed it. They haven't adopted.
Oh, they haven't adopted,
Not
okay.
yet.
So then-
They're still,
Legislature's working on it.
they're still
Yeah.
tinkering around with a lot of
Okay.
things.
All right, so it's purgatory.
There was an accident at the intersection of 82 and,
Colonial?
no,
Tree line?
Tree Line. Right at that.
Colonial Tree Line.
82 and
Colonial.
Colonial and Tree
Tree Line
Line?
doesn't intersect.
Or the road the Pelican's on.
Colonial.
Colonial.
No.
Tree Line.
Colonial and
I'm
Tree
sorry,
Line.
Colonial and
Tree
Tree
Line.
Line. Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. A couple nights ago, there was someone on an e-bike. They were laying in right by the stoplight at the turn, laying in the middle of the road. They had EMS, two
Quite a few accidents at that intersection.
enforcement officers, and an ambulance.
If it was anybody, it probably wasn't our people.
No, it was a kid,
These things are dangerous.
Yeah.
but.
All right, anything else to add to Chelsea's book?
Please don't.
All right. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll move on to,
Agenda's full.
As we get into April and May and we start digging into the budget, if we need additional meetings, we do not have any big travel plans, so
I don't
I
have any.
wouldn't mind additional meetings to iron some of this stuff out if we have to.
yeah, same here. The only thing that now I do work, so I just need to be ahead of time and work around that schedule.
When you want to address that
Under
Stony
super-
Brook
su-
resident?
Supervisor comments.
Okay.
Okay, so I was gonna start. We're gonna go ahead and supervise comments. Carol?
None.
Dad?
None.
Bob?
Do we have a resale capital fee that we impose on people in Gateway?
No.
No, only HOAs really usually do that.
Oh, HOAs? Is it an opportunity for us to?
I don't believe we have that authority to do that.
Okay. Second thing is the FPL project. in Pelican is going along very, very well. I would like to get, I don't know if this information is currently available, but what areas in the total, what percent has installed conduit?
Almost of
And
100.
what percent have the new poles been installed? And in what percent are the poles energized? And what is the status of removing the old poles? I know they've got some of them identified, but at least it would give me a sense of following the progress. Because they don't work every day, so some days I see things going on, then I don't see anything happening. Some days the lights are on, and the next day they're not,
They'll be done by the end of the month,
the end of March.
the end of this month.
Meaning?
They're almost done with everything. They're-
All the new poles are in, all the old poles are
Yes,
out, all of it?
that's the last update.
Good, okay.
Conduit's almost done, but the landscaping, where we gotta come and bring in sod, that'll
That's the least of
straggler.
my,
Okay.
if it's functional,
Eh,
then I'm happy.
end of
It'll be
the
done
month
by
is-
the end of the month.
Yep.
Thank you. That's what I wanted
Do
to
you
know.
still want the percentages?
No, not if it's gonna be done that quickly.
Okay, yeah.
By the time they develop it, it'll be done.
Yep.
I'm good.
Anything else?
Nope.
Doug?
Yeah, so there is a resident in Stony Brook. I'm just going to show you two pictures, and then Laura's going to pull up something. So they identified a leak next to their meter. You see the water
Yep,
overflowing?
oh, sure do.
When that water settled, they took a picture, and you can see where a root is cut and the PVC, you see.
Yep,
That's
yep,
the
yep,
reason.
yep, yep, yep.
For me, because I'm.
So here's I'll show you two together.
What's the bypass?
Yeah, Doug, if you could forward that to
I will.
Chelsea for the record.
So, here's
It
the
was.
It's right here.
You already have it? Okay.
resident noticed
Oh, there it
this.
is. The video, though.
You can see
That's our new meter pit.
that there was all this water coming up next to it. So when the
Is that
wa-
in this, covering this?
I'll show you. I'll explain that to you. When the water dried, they took a picture, and a root was cut, and you can see there's a cut in the
Oh, I see it right
irrigation
here.
line.
Okay.
So
Okay.
somebody was cutting the root and accidentally hit the
Yeah,
irrigation
yeah.
line.
Right, it's
So-
PVC.
In talking with Chelsea, the rule is if the line,
The policy.
huh?
The policy.
The policy, sorry. If something happens and a line isn't marked, then it's not the installer's
Correct.
responsibility. So what you're looking at is go to one.
Sorry,
I'm
mouse
sorry,
is
go
not,
to.
mouse is
Just
not.
tell me this. Oh,
yeah.
This is, the road is here, right here? Is here where the
Which
road is?
side
Yeah,
of
yeah,
meter
you can see
we
the
looking
sidewalk.
at?
There's the sidewalk, all right?
Are we all looking at the same
So it's
picture?
before the
Yeah.
meter, so that's our responsibility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. That's all I need to know. If, what the desk is what the road is. If the road's right here, the meter's right here, it's our
The
responsibility.
white pipe on the right is the customer's pipe.
I understand, but the
Beyond-
location.
So the
It
argument is,
doesn't, the location does not matter. It is the property owner's pipe.
It's on a supply line.
the argument is what you're seeing here is the old meter,
I'm looking yours, guy.
and that red circle was basically where the old meter would have been. So when they went to pull this out, that irrigation line on the right would have been visible. Like, there's no way they could have avoided not seeing that.
The irrigation on the line, I'm confused here. The irrigation
This is
line,
irrigation right here.
that
three
white
lines.
line with
Yes.
the deal, that's the line that's cut.
That's the line it's cut. Now, if you go to the next slide, where it's cut is, go to 2. Where it's cut is where that red circle is on the left, right here. That's where it was cut.
So hold on. So the water, this is the irrigation meter on the left.
Yeah.
It goes through his line, it goes onto his solenoid. And then it must wrap around and come back
actually
and serve
goes-
an area.
Yeah, it actually comes.
Or it comes this
Yeah,
way.
it comes this way.
It's that guy's deal.
This is where it's
It's all
cut.
his. Doesn't have anything to do with us.
But look, this is where it was cut. The argument is they would have known this line is existing when they were excavating. So this was done at some point, and it had to have been done after, because you can see the root here. So this was cut post excavation. This is so close, they would have known the line existed. Someone just
Not
got
o-
sloppy.
Not only
and
that,
cut a root.
this looks like a repair that is freshly done.
I like that.
Right,
Okay,
that
so
was done.
let's just go with that.
So That must have been done
This
during.
this is repair. I mean, I'm no expert. This repair with this blue thing here, that looks like
It's
it was
not noted in the
just,
field report, but
this
but that's
was,
brand new.
Okay,
Look
what's the
like this-
question before?
What are you
The,
asking?
the resident wants Met Tower to come out and just fix that place where they cut.
because they fixed
They've
one,
acknowledged
but they didn't
cutting
fix, they
You're-
fixed this one, but not that one.
We don't know that they fixed that.
Okay, would
Well,
we
I
ask?
can-
I mean,
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
that, 1-inch line?
Yeah, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
worried about bucks a money here.
Two couplings and a little bit of glue and it's fixed.
$20, you got it done.
Let me be clear.
It's easy.
Let me be clear. So the policy has been, if the things are not marked,
Correct.
I cannot hold the contractor accountable
Responsible,
for
correct.
damages that are done.
But-
That is,
But the purpose of marking is what?
so that way they know,
There.
So if they're digging this out and that line becomes visible, then they know that the line exists. So any damage post, they're
you're assuming that when the cut occurred, that it was visible to them.
Well, the bottom
had to
line
be.
is that I agree with the policy. We ought to stay with the policy. But in this particular case, we're spending more time talking about it than it'll take to fix it.
Okay, so,
You're exactly right. It's peanuts to
It's
fix
peanuts.
that.
Just tell them to go fix
so
it.
Met Tower's gonna want additional
Well, then you
compensation
give
for
them
this.
additional compensation. If it's more than $20, then we know to talk about it.
Give Isaac some glue and
Yeah.
2 fittings, he'll have it fixed in about 20
20 minutes. The problem's gonna be digging a hole.
All right.
The repair's nothing.
Yeah,
and the lesson
We'll
here
be at your
is-
house.
we're trying to say that this was not done.
Doug
like,
will be at
We're
your
trying to
house.
say that this
No, no,
repair
no.
was just not
It's-
done.
let me be
So she's
clear.
saying it wasn't identified.
Let
And
me
you're
be-
right.
Let me be clear. Met Tower acknowledges it was cut, okay? But the policy has been, if it is not marked, they are not responsible,
We agree.
okay? But now you're contradicting that.
We are.
And saying,
So
Because it wasn't marked and they damaged something, that they're still responsible.
my deal,
you're saying.
If they dug that hole
Yes.
and then they cut it,
You don't know when they cut it.
it doesn't
the
matter.
issue. That's the unknown.
It's theirs.
My thing is that if there is always the issue that you do not know where all these things are and mark them. You can't do it. It's just not physically possible to do it. But that doesn't mean we got staff that fixes this. We don't
Right.
even need to bring Met Tower into this
Right.
unless we can prove that Met Tower knew it was there and he cut it after the fact.
We
I mean,
had,
That's the only
is
way.
this a relationship we have with a vendor that we were giving him millions of dollars?
Right.
And
They're gonna nickel and dime us.
my question goes to that, because this happened in Hampton Park a bunch of times.
This is
Hold on, let me
policy.
finish, Chelsea. I've been to Hampton Park. I'm extremely frustrated with Matt Tower because he left that place a pig pen with nothing but water bottles everywhere, drinks everywhere, and homeowners had to pick it up. So are we gonna then hire someone from our staff and then build Matt Tower to picking up that? Because I'm not talking about one, I'm talking about 30 plus. And you've been there with me and you saw nothing but disgusting crap all over the place. So I feel like this is nitpicking. This is
Yes.
not working with us,
Yes.
okay? This is absolutely,
to even bring it up.
And I can tell you
it's
that.
not worth my time.
I can tell you, if you look at that white pipe, it is not consistent with the coloring of,
And that's what I'm
something was,
saying.
there's no picture of them of before. I think,
So you feel that the U-joint that they put in there was done,
it was done so they could fit the box in. Because if you go to, you can't see it here, but the box they put in,
The square box, they
It
needed to
fits.
do this or to do the
they
square
had to do it.
box.
So if they touched the pipe to cut it, to make room,
and water would have been in there if you'd known it, so.
Especially if it's
I see what you're
pressurized.
saying.
yeah. So the
Now-
recommendation is to have it fixed.
The other part, and I'll tie in exactly what Flavia was saying, when we had Copeland Southern Enterprises doing our downspout work, I can't tell you how many lines they cut, and they fixed them all. Whether it was a irrigation line or a cable line or anything, we never even heard about it. They just automatically fixed it. That's a good supplier. And with this one, Met Tower should have just fixed it, kept right on going, not said anything to anybody.
Do you have a picture of with the box installed?
Yeah.
Let's see what that looks like, just to know.
Yep, that's what it looks like.
So you.
So
So
they would not have been able to fit the box had they left it.
What's the
The way it
line?
was.
And
see, there's the cut.
What's the connection into that line? Is that a sprinkler head?
Yeah, I think
Looks
so.
like it.
I think it runs off to
Yeah,
a
it's a
sprinkler
sprinkler
head
head.
somewhere.
Pop-up.
Yeah.
It's a pop-up.
So Doug will be at your house. I'll have them at your house tomorrow.
Okay. You're talking about the other Doug, right?
Huh?
Staff Doug?
Yeah, that doesn't look good right there.
And that, when I saw that, and then, it's like, we want to work with each other. They don't work for us, we don't work for them, we work together. But seriously,
If they've got the fittings, again,
got it, it's right in the
15
truck.
minutes and that's done.
Well, and hold on, I don't want to bash them because they have addressed this. When was your box done?
August.
August.
Is this your house?
And,
Is this his house?
Yeah.
Oh, forget everything I said. Screw it.
and here's the other
Whose is
thing.
it?
This was done in August.
This is your house?
Yeah. So there,
Oh, we didn't get full disclosure.
I thought he said it was a redneck.
but
Well, it
the other
wouldn't matter
issue
to
is,
me.
and Leslie needs to pull like if there's
Oh,
been,
now
it's been leaking water this
Oh,
whole
here we
time.
go. Now we're gonna have to give him money.
That resident's gonna have to come to the board and make the request.
On time.
So,
I want to be clear. So Met Tower, the time in Hampton, cleanliness inside their construction zone, could it have been better? 100%. Have they gotten better? 100%. Have they made other repairs of things that they've 100% nicked? Yes. This, Doug, I'm assuming this line that was nicked is on a zone that doesn't run all the time? Because we would have.
no, it runs when the irrigation's
after the
on.
meter, so it would have
And
been leaking
the
the whole
zone that
entire
this is
time.
connected
No,
to?
this is behind the meter. This is on his zone. This is
Green Divers
his
would have fixed it. You'd have never heard
private
about it.
property.
That's what I'm
Stream
asking.
would've just fixed
where
it.
You see
Brad
what the
would've just
picture of
fixed
the actual the irrigation meter, that's what I was asking. If it's down, then it doesn't matter. It would be leaking the entire time. Because it already passed the meter. That's what the other picture was. That's what I was asking before. Here, right here. The meter for his property.
Yes.
Is it here or is it here? The irrigation.
The meter is right there in the picture.
This, what this is this goes over to a solenoid, it goes around and comes down to another zone.
So
That's just one of his 5 or 6 zone
so you
lines.
have a loop at your house?
So the water was leaking out of a zone that's on the downstream side of the
So
meter.
there's no way to measure that. We can look,
But
I'll pull
my
it.
point is, like, this has been leaking
Well,
since
you
August.
can measure what it would
And
be,
it's-
it's just take
it's
the last 2
finally-
months' readings.
It's finally eroded the water through the leak for now to be visible. So this has been leaking since
It undercut
August.
the sod and stuff,
August.
yeah.
So that I've been paying for.
So they'll be there,
anyway.
they'll be there tomorrow to
Okay,
fix it.
awesome. Thank
But
you all.
all of, and I asked Doug to bring this in front of you because how we have operated to date has been if it is not marked, how can I say to Met Tower, you gotta go fix this?
Let me ask one question. Are we sending the letters to homeowners and saying, hey, it's your responsibility to mark?
We say it in the town hall and we notify.
No, that's not what I asked.
No, they're
Are we
notified.
sending
do
out
not- we
letters?
do
So
not
don't
send a
tell me
letter.
yes, Laura, when I'm asking a specific question. Is it, when we're sending out those letters and saying the project is starting, means we're gonna be responsible from here to here. If you don't mark it, we're not responsible. We're not sending
We
out.
say that in the town hall. We do not send that in specific letters.
And the only thing that I would add to Med Tower as part of their standard operating procedure
Yeah,
is,
it's easy, because then we don't have to do anything.
Well, we send out an email blast.
One sentence is easy.
and I'm sure they're doing this, but when lines are visible during their excavation, that they just use due diligence.
Yeah, they do.
And, well, they, not always, but,
This, you have to admit, that cut was hard to see. Even you had to reach down and feel it. So, and I can promise you, out of over half of we're 3/4 of the way through this project, to have, 1 or 2 every now and then, things happen.
well, the only thing that, my neighbor had the exact same thing happen to him. And he, ultimately, had to fix it, but he had the same thing.
Where's the
his
root
meter line
at
was
that
down.
was-
And you know what's happening, right? Because
There must have, it was on top.
everything is dry right now, so
Yeah.
people are not gonna know until it's literally soaked or when rainy season comes up, and that's
was
gonna
up on
see it.
top of it.
Because that's what happened with FPL. So there may be more, we just don't know, but again, I'm not gonna throw
But
it out there.
it wasn't intruding into the meter box.
But you can see from a management perspective, and this is why I
no
asked Doug
qualms.
to bring this, this is deviating from the policy. I made, just like anything else, I made an administrative decision. every resident has the right to come in front of this board and make this request, and so you guys have opined on that. So again, you might see more of these, especially as we get into Gateway Greens with a lot more routes, and they have to cut.
Yeah, and they're pretty cranky people over there.
You might want to send out a blast.
You may want to add that sentence that we just talked about. It's,
Well, what
they
happened in
choose not
Gateway
to do
Greens
it,
is
and they
what
choose not
happened
to
in the
do
rest
it.
of the community.
But I-
1,439 residents and 20 show up at a meeting.
Well, but I
They don't even
like
know what's going
Flavia's
on.
idea of maybe sending something direct,
No,
because,
it's just opening Pandora's box.
about sending a letter.
I mean, we're 80% through with this already?
We're wrapping up all of these little communities and moving to Gateway Greens, and
Let's,
then we're done.
Or maybe we just make sure that we send something to the presidents,
The HOA and
the
let them know.
HOAs, and let
president.
them manage through it, because
Your biggest problem you've got on this right here is that unless you own the house and you build it, nobody knows where their service, their
That is
zone
correct.
lines go.
That is
They don't know where they go.
had
So
no
you
idea
can
that was
ask them till you're blue in the face to mark it.
Won't be a
They're
thing.
not going to
they're not
be
gonna be
able
able
to
to find
mark
it.
it.
Like, I didn't know that
They're
was
not going to
there.
be able to find it.
Well, and that was the conversation that Doug and I had, was he said, how am I supposed to know where it's at? And I said, well, how is the contractor supposed to know where it's at? So if every single time we just cut and capped and cleaned and somebody cried wolf that we damaged their ball valve, this project budget I wouldn't have had a budget. It would have been blown out the wazoo. So that's why the policy has historically been this.
But on the other hand, and I agree with you, Chelsea, something like this, they just should have fixed
Understood.
without even talking
Easy
about it.
fix, yeah.
the other item I had is, I had a brief conversation with Chelsea, and what I would like for Parks and Rec, whether it's Kathy or they nominate, I'd like for us to pilot us managing a league. And I think a great one to start is just bocce. We could have talk to folks at Pelican. I know Gateway Greens has a bocce court. We have one here, but maybe we could start with a 4-team
It's extremely popular.
bocce league, and we would do it maybe by, like Pelican might have a team, they might have 2
Are you
teams.
talking about
or 4
on this
teams.
facility
It
here
would be rotate.
or
So
in the new park?
well, it would be here. I want them to stand it up as quickly as possible. But the thing is, like, we would have a bocce court here. I would love to talk to Pelican about, let's say, if it's the Pelican team playing someone else, you play at your home court.
There's 20 teams in Pelican.
You allow someone to come over. If I would even maybe talk to the club, see if Gateway Greens wants to put a team together. If so, they would play their home matches at the club. I don't, if they
We
would
don't
agree
have
with
enough
that.
bocce courts in Pelican. We can't wait for us to build them here.
Yeah. But I thought maybe it might be a good opportunity for us to kick the tires on what goes into starting a league and managing it.
We don't have the capacity right now to do it, to start it. It's something we can consider in the summer with the summer shutdown, but we've got the pool.
From a
From a staffing standpoint. So we have,
Get volunteers.
What would staff have to do?
We'll take volunteers, get it
Coordinate.
organized, coordinate the teams,
Sell it.
allocate the time schedule.
What you do is you just have a sign up,
Because you can't have everybody show up at the same time.
schedule,
Yeah.
I mean, and say, okay,
have- okay.
Pelican A and is playing Gateway Greens 2 on, matches are on Tuesdays and Thursdays at
It's a lot of
10
emails.
o'clock,
It's a
11 o'clock.
volunteer kind of position.
I thought you were asking the committee to do this.
I don't care who does it. I just think we need to start getting into programs.
I
And
told,
when we do it, let's not make it a paid staff function. Let's encourage, maybe go to PrAC, encourage they solicit volunteers.
I have heard, you might talk to people that do, but I have not heard one single person in Gateway Greens say a thing about, let's do this, let's do that, just do that. Nobody.
Well, they don't in Pelican either
they
until the
don't go outside
facility's
the
there.
community.
But once the facility's there, boy, they come like ants out of the chocolate cake.
Well, it depends, because we got that facility at the club.
Oh, you got
so
bocce there?
Yeah, they got you, and that's what I was thinking. You have nice facility, and I hardly ever see it used.
Oh, my God.
Very seldom used, because nobody cares about it.
Ours is used from 7 to
It's not a
7.
big, it's
So
not a
like-
big deal.
So maybe that's,
Pickleball's the sport, not
Yeah.
bocce.
Oh, we got
But
both.
if we could promote, let's say Pelican's got 4 teams, if we could just
So you guys
communicate it
push it to PrAC?
within Gateway Greens.
Yeah, this is a PrAC thing.
this is not a staff function right
No,
now. We've got
correct.
the debt, we've got the pool surface deck
And I tell you,
happening.
and they can, if they charge $10 a team or $20 a team, whatever it is, they can keep the revenue
We
for,
don't, we
for
don't,
prac?
we don't have that in our fee schedule right now.
Oh, for leagues?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we start off as, hey, we're just
That's why I
organizing
said
it.
summer, because then you guys are gonna do a fee schedule. And I had to talk to Carrie about doing a co-ed adult kickball to start, because that's would be
And if
net
it was
new.
me, I would look to someone in Pelican that might want to help organize.
And Schofield is a
And-
member of PrAC, and he could do
And
that.
alleviate some of the
Yeah,
usage
Joe would be
fears that
great.
they're- yeah.
So delegate that down to members.
So you wanna push a prac?
Yes.
And that's what I would
Absolutely.
do.
How many bocce courts are gonna be at the new?
2, 4?
4.
We have two, and they want 4.
Yeah.
We have two, like a.
Yeah.
And then you gotta lock up the balls and stuff. I mean, there's a little bit of housekeeping
Yeah.
with it.
Well, and that's,
They bring the
But I'm
ball.
sure the club would love to see more activity on the, if you got members plus guests, which would be the other teams.
well, okay, so I think this is a great, we just had our joint prac meeting and you guys talked about programs. I think this is a good direction to push to prac as a volunteer. Let them do the legwork. Staff can be a supporting function, but I don't want staff right now to be the lead function. In the summer, we can contemplate
I'll
it.
be on a team.
Maintenance
I can
of
play.
the bocce court.
They're really,
Barely any,
they're
'cause
not,
it's
there's
a
not a lot.
synthetic-
And at the new course?
Well, it's like a tennis court.
Yeah.
Every
You-
time you get done playing, they wanna rake it,
Yes.
smooth it, and all that stuff. Who's gonna do it?
The participants, that's who does it
Why
in
is our
Pelican.
bocce,
Our
like,
teams do it.
grass?
Our club members
Like
won't.
a
They
third.
got
I've never
staff
played on
doing it.
grass.
It's only,
It's grass.
our new one's gonna be.
That's the only 2 items I had. So I'm done.
On Fridays, when John and I play bocce, when you get done, somebody goes and they takes the thing and they
Yeah.
rakes it and boom.
If I saw that happen over there, I'd probably drop over.
Well,
They get done, they go straight to the bar. They
Okay.
don't do anything else.
Prac is gonna handle a
But the
body
good news at
program.
the Commons Bar, we won't have a bar. So
We'll be teaching
least
them
not
the
in the
right
beginning.
way from the
Yes.
beginning.
that's phase 3 that I'm working on right now.
All right, nothing else there?
No, that's it for me.
I have just a few things. So
A
the
few?
traffic, yeah, the traffic light, I know, we had some complaints about the Griffin being totally stopped from people taking 40 minutes from 7-Eleven to, Silver Lakes and then you talked to Lee County about
You mean the
increasing.
light up here?
The light on Griffin and 82, I guess, between 5 and 6, only 4 or 5 cars can actually go before the light turns red.
gotta
So
recycle
Chelsea,
it.
so Chelsea reached out to them and they increased it. They didn't tell us how long, but I did see it got better. I only had one resident send a thing that
So
saying it was
there's
too
cars
bad.
going
No, it's-
west, turning left into Gateway.
No, it's cars
Trying to
cutting
get
through,
Gateway.
going to Lehigh.
Go on to 82.
Because going to Lehigh, you can only go cross
You mean go
4
across,
cars.
okay.
And then the other lane, you turn right.
But one car blocks it. and-
Yeah, so one car blocks it and can't do it, but it's actually better.
Good.
FWC, the report, is it better than Lee County Sheriff's Office for the
So,
detail?
We stopped detail for now. I actually have a meeting with him tomorrow. They've only written a handful of tickets, which is a handful more than the sheriff wrote. But I am having a conversation with him tomorrow about the intent is tickets. The whole reason we went away from the sheriff's office was because they didn't write tickets. And so I am going to reiterate that tomorrow. Again, it's kind of a per deputy decision. So I'm going to walk into that conversation and say tickets or no detail. And because that is what I understand from this board.
All right, I just wanted to know, yeah, otherwise.
Everybody's got enough warnings.
The speed out there is absurd.
They've had enough warnings, it's time to ticket them.
don't need to educate anymore.
Yes.
And then the other thing I have,
Lord.
I guess this is like for the board. So Ernesto's last day is March 9th. And I thought it would be nice for us to send a letter thanking for his service and partnership throughout all the years with not only Pelican, because he's been instrumental for Pelican, for Gateway as well. So if the board is okay with it, if
Absolutely.
staff can do a letter. I mean, I won't be able to attend.
That would be nice.
But on the 9th, they are having, their annual meeting. And if we can either send him that letter, or somebody from staff can go.
What day of the week is the 9th?
I don't know.
Monday.
Monday.
Do we have a hoodie and a hat we can give him?
I have a hat.
Yeah, my
March the
hoodie.
9th, that's Monday.
I give him a water
Monday?
sample.
Okay.
Give him a nice water bottle.
With a pond sampler.
We still use those, Ed.
Or one of the memorial poles.
Oh, I remember those too.
we broke
I
a
must
bunch
have
of
one in
them.
my
Oh my God,
garage.
those
Remember
poles.
those?
Oh,
And
gosh.
then tie
God, I
strap
hated
and then the
that.
Do we
can.
want to do a small, less than $25 plaque or
Oh, fine,
something?
yeah,
Plaque?
I mean, he's done a lot
He's
for us
done a
over
lot.
the
I
years.
mean, the amount of money he saved us allowing us to do all those testings over there.
As many
That's all I have to say. You know about us
Oh,
so
yeah.
much.
bottles as he took in that we weren't
Supposed to.
supposed to be doing,
Yeah, so I think, I think.
Probably be
more
worth a
than-
good dinner at Outback.
Yeah, I think a little bit more than 25 will be. All right, that's it. That's all I have.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second. All right.
Lots of signature stuff.